Manicurist Lisa Russell is suing her ex-boyfriend, mover Mark Foster, for unpaid bail money and for damage to her car. Mark says it's Lisa's fault he was arrested in the first place.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 7 on the calendar, the matter of Russell versus Foster.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Russell, you claim that the defendant owes you for the return of some bail money,
Yes.
that he wrecked your car,
Yes.
and that he burned a hole with a cigarette in your car.
Yes.
Defendant says that the only reason he got a ticket for driving while under the influence of alcohol was because you were too drunk to drive. You were in the car at the time he was stopped. That he did not wreck your car, it was somebody else, and that he has no idea who put a hole with a cigarette in your car. That's your defense.
That's true.
No, that's your defense.
Yes, that's true. That's my defense.
Oh, smart. I like smart.
Yeah, smart's good.
Let's see how he does at the end. Miss Russell, he was your boyfriend?
Yes.
For how long?
About 9 to 10 months.
Starting when?
February 22nd is the day that we met. We went on our first date on the 24th of February.
Okay. And when was the arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol?
April 28th.
Were you with him?
Yes.
What time was it?
God, it was right around when the club was closing, so it could have been any time between midnight and 1 o'clock.
Whose car was it?
My car.
Who had driven there?
I drove there.
Why didn't you drive home?
I had been drinking.
So if you had been drinking, did you ask the defendant to drive your car?
No, I didn't ask him to drive my car. He took the keys, got in the car, and pulled out of the parking spot before I was even inside of the car. He was angry because he thought that he had seen me kissing somebody else inside of the club, which never happened, and so he was adamant about driving us home.
And had you had too much to drink, Mr. Foster?
Yes.
So then why did you get behind the wheel of a car?
She asked me to.
Were you afraid of her?
Was I afraid of her? No.
Would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 you have more fear of her or me?
Probably you.
I would like you, with one hand, to pick up that desk and move it out to the corner. Can you do that?
Is it bolted down? I probably could.
What I'm trying to say, Mr. Foster, is if she asks you to drive home and you've had too much to drink, you say, if you're too drunk, I've had too much to drink, I don't get behind the wheel of a car. So if you got behind the wheel of a car, it's your fault, and if you were arrested for a DUI, that's your fault. Now the only question is, she bailed you out. Tell me how that came about, Miss Russell.
We were about a half mile away from my house when the police officer pulled us over, and there was 2 police officers in the car. So one of them drove my car to my house with me in it. The other officer followed us with Mark in the back of the car. They let me go to the back of the car to talk to him before they took him to jail, and he was upset. He was crying. He wasn't looking forward to spending the weekend in jail, considering that it was a Friday night, and asked me if there was anything I can do. If I could get the money together to bail him out, he would pay me back. So
He never said the word pay you back. He never used the words pay you back, Miss Russell. I'm a little bit older than you are. That's not what's said. What's said is, can you get the money together to get me out? That sounds right. The pay you back part doesn't sound right.
he did promise to pay me back the bail money.
Go ahead.
So I got the money together, I went down to the jail, and I bailed him out that night.
Let me hear your version of the events, sir.
Well, we got pulled over, and, you know, like she said, the cops drove her car to her house with me in the squad car behind it, and then took me to jail. That Friday night, she had asked me to call her when I got, you know, into the cell or whatever with a phone, and so I did. And she said that she felt bad and that she had some money and that she could come bail me out. And you know, I told her I'd probably be out in the morning, if not Sunday morning. You know, we had an attorney, and he would most likely be able to get me out on OR. However, you know, she insisted on coming down and bailing me out. And basically what I said was, you know, I'm not exactly going to hold on to the bars, you know, when the deputy comes to let me out, you know, not exactly going to refuse to leave.
Okay. How much was the bail?
The bail posted was $7,500. I paid $765 to get him out. Your Honor, I don't have $765 laying around at any given point in time.
Then, Miss Russell, what you shouldn't have done is you shouldn't have taken your car, driven your car to the club, had enough drinks so that you couldn't drive yourself home, and then, since you couldn't drive yourself home, got into a car with him when you knew he was drinking and allowed him to drive your car home. That's what you should not have done. He should not have gotten behind the wheel of that car. But you're just as guilty as he is. But for the fact that he got behind the wheel of the car, you would have gotten behind the wheel of the car and driven home. That's what would have happened. then maybe you got pulled over. So, he got pulled over, and I don't care whether there was an agreement or not. You pay for half the bail, and you're so stupid you pay for half the bail. Do you understand? Now, you say he wrecked your car. Tell me about that.
June 30th, we were on our way to a concert. Again, he drove my car. We were in stop-and-go traffic. He had enough distance between him and the car in front of us, but he had turned to me to say something, and when he looked forward again, traffic had stopped. He slammed on the brakes and tried to merge a little bit, and the driver's side front end of my car ended up hitting the back of another person's car.
Yes.
We pulled off the freeway with the other person, and I had friends following me at the time, too, that were going to the concert with us. The woman in the car wasn't hurt. She had absolutely no damage done to her car, and she said that she was in a rush, so she didn't want to file a police report or exchange information, so we all left.
So, what kind of car was this?
It's a 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
So you have insurance.
Yes.
Did you pay to have the car fixed?
No, I haven't gotten it fixed yet.
Why not?
It turns out afterwards I found out that his license was suspended due to the DUI, which means that my insurance won't cover his driving my car because he didn't have a valid driver's license at the time.
Why did you get behind the wheel of a car if you had a suspended license?
I wasn't even in the car.
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
Well, I wasn't even in the car. She said that she was going with some friends to a concert. I was working, actually, on the road. What I do is I move people's furniture. I'm a truck driver. I was out of town.
So according to you, you never were in an accident with her car?
Nope. Never.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They had been in a terrible fight that morning. Then he shows up, gives her flowers, and insists on driving. I was one car behind them when the impact occurred. He hit them. I'm not sure how fast he was going.
Is this beginning to jog your memory a little bit?
And later today,
Why aren't you responsible?
Because he had told me that he was going to pay for it, and I said that was fine.
So sue him.
Yeah, he should sue him. He shouldn't be.
No! You sue him!
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Russell says she posted bail for ex-boyfriend Mark Foster when he was arrested on a DUI. Lisa also claims that during a separate incident, Mark wrecked her car.
Go ahead.
Basically, I'd heard about the accident through the grapevine, that some other guy was driving the car or whatever, and I questioned her about it. Of course, she denied it. And once I got married, all of a sudden this whole lawsuit thing came about. Mm-hmm. So, I think she had hopes that, we would be back together and yada yada. And once I got married, seemed a little bitter.
I think you ought to have your car fixed.
I think I need to have it fixed too. I didn't want to pay the money out of my own pocket to have it fixed, though.
Well, if you let somebody under the influence of alcohol drive your car again, maybe you have to pay the consequence of that. I can't tell whether he was driving the car or not. You have any witnesses here who were in the car with him?
Jonna was driving right behind us.
Step up. Tell me your last name, please.
Costello.
Are you friend, relative?
I'm just a friend.
Okay. Tell me what you observed.
We were all driving to San Bernardino for a concert. Mark and Lisa had gotten the tickets. I met them both at her house. From there...
Is this beginning to jog your memory a little bit?
Not at all.
Okay.
They had been in a terrible fight that morning, so we weren't sure if he was coming or not. Then he shows up right before we were leaving, gives her flowers, and insists on driving. I followed them to the concert. I was one car behind them when the impact occurred. It was stop-and-go traffic. He hit them. I'm not sure how fast he was going at all.
How did he get to her house?
I don't know. I think he might have driven there or gotten dropped off. I just saw him come in.
How did he get to your house?
He was living with me at the time.
I didn't even know that.
Really?
He was living with me at my parents' house at the time.
Oh. So if he was living with you, were you living in the same room? You sharing a room?
Yes.
Good. Then you ought to know that he has a suspended license.
I never asked him what...
You should have asked. You should have asked.
I should have asked.
Because that's what a deductible is for on your insurance. Because you certainly knew that you'd bailed him out of jail. You'd be smart. You say, what happens with your license during that time? I'm sure you were involved in his getting an attorney, right? Did you ever go with him to the attorney's office?
No, I never went with him to the
Did you
attorney's.
discuss with him the visits that he had with the attorney?
We discussed how much time he was going to be spending in jail, considering the fact that he had violated probation, and his probation officer wanted to give him, I think, up to 2 months, and he told me that his attorney was getting him off for about 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Between the time that he was arrested for this DUI and the June 30th, since he was living with you, how many times did he drive your car?
He drove my car numerous times.
Of course. Okay. What's the deductible on your insurance?
$1,000.
Let me see. And I also want to see the estimate.
I got 3 different estimates from 3 different auto body companies.
Well, the cheapest estimate is $1,506. Is that right?
Yes.
And you have a $1,000 deductible on your policy, right?
Correct.
So he's responsible for half of that, because I find that half of that is attributed to you, because you should have known that he wasn't supposed to be driving your car. And I think you did know that he wasn't supposed to be driving anybody's car. Now, you want to tell me about the cigarette hole?
Cigarette hole was New Year's Eve, and I was driving us back home because I was sober at the time. And he was trying to flick his ash of the cigarette out the window, which was only cracked a little bit, and instead he hit the headliner, and the cherry of the cigarette went up into the headliner and burned a hole. The car's only 2 years old. I'd like to keep it in as good of condition as I possibly can.
When did you marry?
April 16th.
January, February, March. Did you file a lawsuit against him?
I filed my lawsuit originally.
Those your original papers?
Yes.
Let me see them, please. What were you suing him for $5,000 for debts?
I was angry at the time. I was trying to go after phone bills from when he was in jail. I was going to ask for half of the collect calls that he made, and then interest on all the money that I've lost to him.
Well, your original lawsuit, madam, was $5,000. That's what you originally filed. When you were here, you filed for $2471.98, and I find that he actually owes you $882.50. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Not give anybody a dime ever again.
Justice is served.
Don't be in a similar situation.
Don't drive drunk.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Chandler versus Chapman. Step forward, please.
Teacher James Chandler is suing the ex-wife of his girlfriend's son, 21-year-old collections agent Trista Chapman, for wrecking his car. James says Trista took the car off-road and broke the axle.
Mr. Chandler, the defendant was driving your car and wrecked it,
That's correct, ma'am.
and you want her to pay for it.
Absolutely.
You didn't give her permission to drive your car.
That's correct.
How do you know her?
She is my girlfriend's son's ex-wife
Girlfriend's son's
at
ex-wife.
the time they were estranged.
Now, I'm going to make a guess that the son's name is Brian,
Correct.
because she says she had Brian's permission to drive the car. So you tell me how that came about and why you don't think you're responsible for the damage to the car.
I had asked Brian to use the car to go to a doctor's appointment.
Were you separated from Brian at the time?
Yes.
So you called Brian. And who was Brian living with?
His mother.
And the plaintiff?
Yes. I had asked him to use a car to go to a doctor's appointment. He had told me, let me call you back. Let me call my mother and ask her if it's okay. He called her, called me back.
No, you don't know what he said to his mother.
No, I don't know what was
But
said.
he called you back and said what?
Yes, it is okay for you to use the vehicle.
Fine.
He came, he picked me up. I dropped him back off at home. And from there, I went to my doctor's appointment
Where was your doctor's appointment?
in Apple Valley.
Did you go alone?
Yes.
So you drove alone in the car,
Yes.
both going there and coming home.
And when I went back, I picked up my friend to give me a ride from Brian's house to back home to where I live.
So after you finished with the doctor's appointment, you picked up a friend, and the friend was supposed to do what?
She was following me over to Brian's house to pick me up from there and take me to my home. Because
So you're driving a car, and your friend is driving in another car.
Yes.
So you're always alone in the car.
No, I had a friend with me in the car.
What friend did you have with you in the car? And where did you get her from?
She was the friend that was coming with me. When I went to pick up the car,
Pick up what car?
when I went to pick up the car from Jim's house, she was...
No, just a minute. First, this is Jim.
Yes.
I thought Brian came and picked you up.
He picked me up from my home to get the car. But this was after the doctor's appointment when I went to go to my friend's house for her boyfriend, because she doesn't have a driver's license for her boyfriend.
Now we're getting someplace else. Just a second. Ms. Chapman, you're going to get the story straight. I want you to understand that. You had Brian's permission to take the car and go to a doctor's appointment and then come home.
No, I had told him that I had to pick up a friend to get my own ride back home. And he said that was fine.
So you picked up a friend after your doctor's appointment, and your friend was driving in your car with you.
Yes.
And where did you go with your friend?
We went back to Brian's house.
Fine. So now you drop off the car, Where was the accident?
On the way leaving my friend's house when I had picked her up. And they were following me. I went through the desert and I hit a rock.
Went through a desert.
It was a shortcut through.
You took a shortcut on a dirt road.
Yes.
And you hit a rock.
Yes.
And that's when the whole axle broke on the car.
Yes.
So explain to me, Miss Chapman, why you are not responsible for the damage.
Because he's saying that I did not have permission to use a car. I did have permission to use a car. When the accident happened, I called Brian and I told Brian what happened. He said, do not worry about it. I will pay for it.
Well, Brian's not here. Brian's not here. You're driving the car and you had permission to drive the car. Is that right?
Yes.
Why aren't you responsible?
Because he had told me that he was going to pay for it, and I said that was fine.
So sue him.
Yeah, he should sue him. He shouldn't be suing me.
You sue him because you have to pay for the damage. And if you have somebody that said to you, don't worry about it, I'll pay for the damage, then you'll be standing on that side and Brian will be standing on this side. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Let me see the bills to fix the car.
I also have photos of the damage.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
What is this lost wages for November 19th?
I'm a substitute teacher, and I had to take a day off of school and turn a job down in order to go retrieve the car. So it cost me $120.
Get that from Brian. By the way, just for my own information, did you speak to your girlfriend and find out whether Brian had ever called her?
No, I did not, and she wouldn't have given permission to use the vehicle anyway.
Well, you don't know that.
I know her.
Probably not.
He had permission to use the vehicle to go to and from work because she had already damaged their other vehicle. In fact, 2 other vehicles.
Would you describe the interior of the car, sir, when you went to retrieve it? Because I see you have cleaning and deodorizing here.
Yes, ma'am. There was a broken cigarillo butt in there and French fries all over the floor and dust from the desert. The exterior of the car was also covered in dust.
Talking about the interior of the car.
It was
Did you
covered-
stop for lunch?
Yes, I did.
Well, what'd you leave the car a mess for inside?
I was going to clean it before I took it back to him, but obviously I couldn't clean it if there was damages to the car, and a tow truck came and picked it up.
Well, why couldn't you clean it out before the tow truck took it?
Because I walked up to my friend's house to call the tow truck for I could do it, but somebody had called and said that a car was banded in the desert, and the police came and the tow truck came and towed it before I could get back to the car.
It's not a difficult case, Mr. Chandler. You have a judgment in the amount of $624.74. That's everything that you're suing for with the exception of your day's wages. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Counsel's case number 29 on the calendar in the matter of Glinka versus Johnson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Glinka, you and the defendant have a child together. How old is that child?
She's 4. She'll be 5 in August.
And at some point you separated. How long ago did you separate?
About 3 years ago.
And after you separated, the defendant had another child. The
Yes.
child is now about 1.5 years or 2 years old. Is
Yes.
that right? And at some point she came to you and said, when that new child was about 1 year old, 1.5 years old, that she thought you might be the father.
Yes.
And I assume that there was reason that she thought that you might be the father, even though she had another boyfriend at the time.
Yes.
So according to you, you took a DNA test.
Yes.
And the test proved that you were not the father. You had originally agreed, according to you, that you would share the cost of the test with the defendant, but then you changed that she would pay for the whole test if you were not the father. She didn't pay for anything, and you want to be reimbursed because you paid the bill. That's what the case is about.
Yes.
What prompted you, Miss Johnson, to tell Mr. Glinka that this new child might be his?
Well, the fact that he looked somewhat like my daughter did when she was young, and she looked just like him when she was younger. And just the timing when I got pregnant, the time I was with him, and the time I got pregnant, it just came together. And I thought about it.
You had another boyfriend at the time.
Right.
Did he take a DNA test?
No, he didn't.
He never did?
No.
Why not?
We just assumed that our son was his, and not Steve's.
Well, now that you know it was not his, doesn't he want to take a DNA test?
No.
Are you still with him?
No.
You're not with him anymore?
No.
Does he pay support for that child?
He's supposed to, but he doesn't.
Did he admit paternity of that child
Yes,
in a court?
he did. Well, not in court. It went through the hospital, and they established it through the hospital.
You got to keep your date book more accurate, Miss Johnson. In any event, what responsibility do you think, madam, that you have to pay for this test?
Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Well, I asked him to take the test because I did think that my son was his, and he said he did not want to because he did not want to pay for another child support for another child because I was initially going down to file for it.
Against whom?
Him.
You were going to go and file for child support against him?
Right.
Even though you had another boyfriend?
Right.
Okay, so I'm waiting. Go ahead, finish.
And like I said, I initially thought it was, his. So we talked about it and we agreed I pay half, he pays half, and that was the agreement. But then he changed it to if he was not the father, I had to pay the full amount back to him.
Well, did you agree to that?
No.
But you agreed to pay for half?
The half, yeah.
So why didn't you pay for half?
At the time, I lost my job right after we agreed and was unable to pay for it.
So you acknowledge that you owe him for half the test?
Half the test, yes, but not the full amount.
All right. Now, Mr. Glinka, why do you think, sir, that she should pay for the whole test, where your initial agreement was that you would each pay for half?
Our initial agreement was that if the baby was mine, she would pay half, I would pay half. If the baby wasn't mine, then she would pay me my half back.
That's not what you say, or it's not what she said. You both seem to indicate that at first you were going to share the cost, but after the test was taken, you said to her...
No, right at the beginning, we had an agreement that we would each pay half. If the baby was mine, then that would be it. Later on, the DNA diagnostic testing started calling me, telling me that they wanted the other half of the money. I called her, asked her why she didn't pay her half. She says she don't have the money. I was like, all right, I will pay your half. If the baby's not mine, you pay me the full amount back.
I said after the test was taken, you changed the agreement. That's what you just told me.
Yeah, because she didn't pay her half.
After the test was taken, you changed the agreement for the whole test. Now, Mr. Glinka, at the time when this child was conceived, was Miss Johnson living with somebody else?
No, she was, yes, she was. Yes, she was.
She was?
Yes.
And you were still seeing her?
On and off, yes.
And you were still intimate with her?
Yes.
You see, now, if you hadn't been intimate with her, sir, you wouldn't have to worry about paying your half.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Right? So I don't feel so sorry for you, sir. We understand each other?
Mm-hmm.
She has to pay for half the test. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $270. Listen to me. If you don't have an order of filiation legally declaring somebody to be the father of this child, then they are not required to do anything. And if I were you, I would take a quick hopscotch down to the family court or the local domestic relations court, file an appropriate case, and then have your current boyfriend or the person you think might be the father of this child tested. The child, I don't care about you. The child is entitled to know who the father is for a lot of reasons, including medical history.
Excuse me.
What?
I have my witness that heard her say over the phone that she would pay me the full amount.
She wasn't in there.
Listen to me, sir. Listen to me very carefully. If all you could do was mail it in, then I would say to you, well, she should pay the whole test because she was just harassing you. You got away clean for $270. Under the circumstances, I would count my blessings if I were you. You got it? Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She started telling my family members that the baby was mine.
The way he is with my daughter now, I'm happy that he's not his father, too.
It was relief after finding out that he wasn't mine.
When he's supposed to pick my daughter up, he doesn't show up.
We still have another kid together, my daughter.
He'll take her to his house, but then he'll leave her with his mother or another family member and go do what he wants.
I see her all the time.
Stay away from guys like him.
Keep it in your pants.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sullivan versus Saylor. Step forward, please.
Bartender Cheryl Sullivan is suing pipefitter Flore Saylor for the return of a down payment on a car and harassment. Cheryl says Flore scammed her into buying a lemon.
Miss Sullivan, you purchased a used car from the defendant.
Correct.
And it is your claim that the car came with a 90-day money-back guarantee.
Yes, it did.
And...
That's horrible.
Excuse me?
Say what?
That's no. That's not true.
Bird, would you take him outside and let's have a discussion with him? If he can behave himself, then you can come back inside. If he can't, I'll rule in the plaintiff's favor.
Will do.
Very good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The joke was 30-30 warranty. 30 feet for 30 seconds. Which one ever expired first?
Miss Sullivan, try answering my question. If I want joke, I'll turn on the Comedy Central channel.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Sullivan says Flore Saylor scammed her into buying a lemon. Flore says Cheryl knew she was buying the car as is.
My apologies.
It is your claim that the car came with a 90-day money-back guarantee.
Yes, it is.
You drove the car for a period of time. The car stopped functioning properly. You took it back to the defendant, and you want your money back.
Correct.
Defendant says the car was purchased as is. As a matter of fact, he's not counterclaiming, but he said that you paid him $500 of the $800, which was the agreed-upon purchase price of the car. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. When did you purchase this car from the defendant?
I purchased this vehicle back in July last year. When I purchased this vehicle, I needed...
Just a second. I'll ask questions. You purchased it in July. July what?
The actual date would be June 27th. I purchased this vehicle.
Much is it, July or June?
Mr. Saylor.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Did you see the car advertised, or you bought it from him because you
No,
knew?
not at all. Jay Saylor came into my place of business, and he knew the fact that I required a vehicle that was going to transport me back and forth to the hospital to keep my medications up. He said, I have a reliable vehicle for you. I can't stand seeing you drive the vehicle that you're driving now. I am not a used car salesman. I would never do anything to harm you.
Listen, stop with the drama. June 27th, you agreed to purchase this car. Did you go and look at it?
Yes, I looked at it. Jay was working on it.
Where did you go to look at it?
At his home.
What kind of car was it?
Mazda RX-7.
What year?
1986.
So at the time you purchased the car, it was 15 years old. Is that
Correct.
right.
Mr. Saylor had indicated that the engine in it was fine because he ran these things and he was going to use it for his racing engine, so to confirm the fact it was going to be a good engine.
Now, at the time, the agreed price of the car was $800?
Correct.
And you gave him some money down over
I
a
would pay
period
him
of time.
$50 a week through a course of weeks until finally money was paid up to $500. After $500, he said I could then take the title and have it transferred into my name.
Which is what you did.
It's exactly what I did.
On what date did you pick up the car?
The exact date that I picked up the car from Mr. Saylor was June 27th, 01.
Is that the day you gave him the $500?
That was the final payment of the final $500.
Okay, but you had seen the car previously then.
I had seen it. Was not allowed to test drive it, though, because Mr. Saylor continuously was working on the engine, telling me he was getting all the bugs out.
Miss Sullivan, you weren't a prisoner. If you wanted to test drive the car before you gave him money, you could have test driven the car or said, I'm not buying this car until I test drive it. Right?
Right, but he wouldn't
Or
let
say
me.
to him, before I buy this car, I want it to be in running order, and I want to take it to my own mechanic, which is what usually people do when they purchase a used car. Put your hand down, sir. I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
I mean, you're not a baby. You're not 18 years old. You buy a used car. You say, I want to take it out. I want to test drive it myself. I want to take it over to a mechanic. You chose to purchase the car without test driving it.
Mr. Saylor put me in the vehicle as the passenger, and he drove the car for an original test drive. When we did this test drive, he himself chose a few flaws that he wanted to have corrected. So he kept the vehicle to correct it. When July 4th came along, I got the vehicle. I drove the vehicle for the first time.
You're going to tell your story no matter what my questions are.
Sorry.
You picked up the car from him on June 27th. According to you. Mm-hmm. And when did you have the car titled in your name?
June 27th.
And did you drive the car to and from work the first week in July?
Yes. It overheated every time.
But you drove it to and from work every day for the next week. On what date did you return the car to Mr. Saylor?
Don't have that down here. It's in my
Do you
other
recall
papers.
the date, Mr. Saylor, that Ms. Sullivan ultimately brought the car back to you?
Yes, I do.
What was the date?
29th of July.
So she had the car approximately a month and 2 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I had the car 2 weeks.
No. If you don't know,
days.
listen, don't speak to him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Sullivan says Flore Saylor scammed her into buying a lemon. Flore says Cheryl knew she was buying the car as is.
The only issue that I have to resolve is whether Mr. Saylor gave you a 90-day money-back guarantee on this 15-year-old Mazda. Can you show me any proof?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it.
The proof I have here is my witness, secondary witness, could not make it here due to the fact of her medical conditions.
I don't read statements. I do not read statements.
This statement states to the fact that
now listen to me. I don't read statements, and you can't tell me what the statement is. Do you have any proof, a bill of sale that says 90-day money-back guarantee?
No, I do not have a bill of sale of 90-day money-back guarantee. But what I do have is I have a bill of sale here with Mr. J. Saylor here as indicated to the fact that he owes me money still.
Let me see.
He took the vehicle back in good faith.
Just a minute, just a minute. Did you write this letter, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me read it. Well, Miss Sullivan, this doesn't say that he owes you money. This says that you owe him money.
That's his indication that I owe him money.
Right.
That's his indication that I've paid him money for him to owe me back.
Let me read the letter to you. Due to the
Yes,
circumstances, after further investigation, it is my opinion that the engine is blown due to lack of oil, in which you were informed of on Sunday night that the car was at least 3 quarts low. In later investigation of the engine, it was found to have mud in the radiator, water pump, overflow pot, and the block. There is the matter of the $300 remaining balance, which at this time is 3 weeks late. There are also additional charges for parts and services rendered. Radiator installed, $150. The investigation of the car, $65 per hour. Water pump for new spark plugs, a lot of baloney. If you have any other questions, please feel free to call me. This is not a 90-day guarantee. This says you owe him the other $300 for the car.
The 90-day guarantee was a verbal agreement between he, me, my boyfriend at the time, and a lodge full of people.
Well, do you have any witnesses to that?
I do have a witness. My witness here is Joe Lynn. Joe Lynn.
All right, step up, please.
Your
last name? I don't want to hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your last name, sir?
Lynn, L-Y-N-N.
Were you present in her place of employment when the deal was made for this car, sir?
I was not.
You were not?
I was not.
Were you present when she picked up the car?
I was there when she brought it home that evening.
Okay. What is your relationship to the plaintiff?
I'm her roommate.
Just her roommate?
It's just her roommate, exactly.
So you were there when she brought it home?
Right.
On June 27th?
And I also looked the car over. I'm a master mechanic. I looked the car over at that time.
Okay. When you looked it over, did you have any conversation with the plaintiff?
Yes, I did. I told her she should take the car back at that particular time, but she told me there's no problem, that she had a 90-day, guarantee.
Oh, so she told you. You never heard him say it?
I never heard it from him, no.
Fine, sit down. All right, Mr. Saylor, I assume that if I were to ask you the question whether or not you gave her a 90-day guarantee for this car, you would say you did not.
Well, there was mentioning there was 3 people present in the lodge, and we made a joke.
Well, let me hear, sir.
The joke was 30-30 warranty. 30 feet or 30 seconds, which one ever expired first.
Miss Sullivan, I'm asking you, sir.
No, I didn't give her no 90-day guarantee, no, ma'am.
I ask you a question, try answering my question. If I want joke, I'll turn on the Comedy Central channel.
I'm sorry.
Good. Did you give her a bill of sale for the car?
No, all cash transactions.
And the only question that I have for you, Mr. Saylor, is you indicated in your answer that you sold this car.
I did not sell the car.
What did you do with it?
I gave it away.
To whom?
A teacher that I sold a 88 convertible to.
Why would you give the car away?
I asked her, I went to the lodge, I asked Miss Sullivan what was her intentions with the car. She said she wanted nothing further to do with the car.
Oh, I can't believe you're standing here saying this.
Miss Sullivan, you don't get it.
Well, I'm not lying.
Mr. Saylor, you don't get it.
Well, she said she
What you get is, when I ask a question, you answer. When I don't ask a question, you don't say anything. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So try to listen, because I'm in charge here, sir. Now, the title to the car was already in her name. How did you get around that by giving it to somebody else?
Just scrapped it. She told me to do whatever I wanted with it, to get rid of it. And that's what I did.
Well, Mr. Saylor, you see, this is your problem, sir. Ordinarily, I would rule in your favor in this case, because I don't believe that anybody in their right mind sells a 15 or 16-year-old car with a guarantee. And unless that guarantee is in writing, I would not give any credibility to her statement that you gave her a 90-day guarantee. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, your problem is, sir, you either gave away, scrapped, or sold her car. And what you should have done was say, you bought it, kiddo. It's in your name. I have nothing more to do with it. And if you feel as if you want to, you sue her for the balance of the car, which was another $300. Do you understand?
Yes.
However, you had no right to give away her car. You had no right to scrap her car. You had no right to sell her car, if that's what you did. So you have to pay her what she paid you. I'm not ruling that you gave her a guarantee. I don't believe that you did. But you exercised dominion and control over her car by giving it, selling it, or scrapping it to somebody else. And you can't do that. So judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. How you doing, Judge?
Good. How are you, Brady?
Good. It's case number 95 on the calendar, the matter of Raymond versus Holmes.
Thank
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Mr. Raymond, you and the defendant were involved in a romantic relationship and decided to lease an apartment together. The defendant moved out sometime during the lease, and you want her to be responsible for her half of the rental of the apartment. That's what the case is about. Ms. Holmes says, she was sort of forced to move out. She'll explain that to me. When did you decide to lease this apartment together?
We leased the apartment February 5th, 2001. We were living previously at another apartment complex, but it was just strictly my name on the lease.
And what prompted you to rent this apartment together?
I was naive enough to think that we might be together for the rest of our lives and maybe start a family together one day, you know? And obviously I was wrong, and...
That's the end of the story. How much were you paying in the old apartment?
I was paying $685.
And how much was the rent on the new apartment?
$870.
What was the financial arrangement as far as the rent was concerned?
That we both pay half, and we were both paying half of electricity and telephone as well.
How many months did you live there together?
Together we lived there for 5 3/4 of a month.
Let's say 6 months.
6 months.
Now, it is correct, Ms. Holmes, that you were paying half the rent.
Yes.
When did you move out and why?
I moved out the beginning of the summer, probably end of July, beginning of August. Throughout our relationship, we had many fights. It became abusive, not only verbally, but physically. And
when did it become physically abusive?
I have here, we both were arrested for breach of peace. We got into a fight. It was at the previous apartment that he lived at.
So you both were arrested for breach of the peace?
Yes.
When?
It was the day after Christmas in 2000.
Fine. Don't give me ancient history, Ms. Holmes. After that happened, you moved into an apartment together, and you signed the lease. Were there any incidents of domestic violence between the two of you after you signed the lease in February of 2001?
In that residence?
Yes.
There was no actual police reports for any.
That doesn't answer my question.
There was violence.
Well, tell me about it.
It was just when we would argue, we would get into fights.
You would fight with each other?
Yes.
All right. With each other?
I would fight back because I'm a lot smaller, but there's only so much I can do to him.
All right. You would fight with each other?
To get him off of me. And
Ms. Holmes, you fought with each other. Why did you move out? And make sure I get a legitimate answer, please.
Because I was afraid.
No.
I was sick.
No. That's not why you moved out. You may have thought you made a mistake and you didn't care for him anymore, but that's not why you moved out. You suddenly moved out.
I wanted to end the relationship.
Right. That sounds right.
I had had enough.
Fine. That sounds right. You didn't want to be with him anymore for whatever reason. Don't tell me what happened a year and a half before when you both were arrested for breach of peace. You didn't like him anymore. You wanted out. Did you have anybody else?
No.
Weren't dating anybody else?
No. I still to this day haven't dated anyone.
That's not the truth, Your Honor.
Just a second. Because that's what he believes in any event. All right. Now, when you moved out, what arrangements did you make with him with regard to the rent and regard to the lease?
I told him that I would pay him for the month after that I had moved out, just to be nice, to help him out, because I understood that it was a lot of money, and that after that, that he was on his own.
Did she have this discussion with you, Mr. Raymond?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Fine. She said she'd pay you 1 month when she wasn't there and then start looking for a roommate.
Matter of fact, she said she was going to help me out every month, not just 1 month, until it was over.
Did she pay you that 1 month?
At the end of August, yes, or beginning of August, August 1st, she did.
Okay. What kind of search did you do, sir, to find a roommate? Is not an answer.
I tried to find a roommate. My best friend was going to move into the house, but it was just a 1-bedroom, so it was very hard to live with somebody else as well as the dog that we both owned. Really, no one else could be around the dog except for me and her. And it was hard to find somebody to live with a dog that is not their owner.
Mr. Raymond,
yes.
She moved out a year ago.
Yes.
Are you still living in the apartment?
No, Your Honor.
When did you move out?
February 5th.
When your lease was up?
Yes.
Where did you go?
I moved in with my best friend.
And what's your rent?
$300.
So you did not attempt to get out of your lease?
I attempted to, but without the $350 lease breakage fee, which I have in the lease right here, they wouldn't let me even try to do it, because she has to come up with $350 for the lease breakage fee, as well. She wrote a letter.
Well, she could have, listen to me, she could have, instead of giving you the $435, given them the $350 for the lease breakage fee. And then what would have happened to your rent?
I would have still been able to cover it, probably.
So, now, okay. So instead of spending less money to break the lease, which she could have done, correct? She gave you more money for the month that she wasn't there.
Yes.
So I want you to tell me, Mr. Raymond, after a year, what brings you to court, sir?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Suddenly, when the money ran out and I didn't have any more money left, she was gone.
No.
Of course.
And later today,
we have a lot of strays.
Strays are not your problem. Your problem is your 2 cats.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joe Raymond says former live-in girlfriend Lindsay Holmes owes for breaking an apartment lease. Lindsay says she moved out because she was scared of Joe.
Go ahead.
What brings me to court is, well, we still had relation within this year. I mean, we still talk to each other. It was on and off for the past year. And she continuously told me, I'm going to help you out, I'm going to help you out, I'm going to give you money. And I never received any money except for that one time in August. And I found out that she was seeing a Rocky Hill police officer. And I was very disturbed of that
When
fact.
did you find that out, sir?
I found this out 3 weeks after she moved out in August. That's one of the main reasons we stopped talking at that time.
That's still a year ago, so what brings you to court now?
To get the money that I feel as if I'm owed, because I owe money to the leasing agent, and
Why?
they still, because I lost my job in December and I was laid off just doing snow work removal, and I couldn't afford it, so now they're coming after both of us to get the money.
When did you stop paying rent, sir?
I paid September, October, November, and December.
December rent was not paid.
Let me see. Oh, I see. You paid with a bad check in November.
But it was...
Sir, so it's 2 months rent that you did not pay.
Yes, but I had talked to the rental agent and I had explained them my situation, and they worked with me the best they could.
I have to find, Mr. Raymond, that there was some reason for her not to break this lease, which she could have done for a lot less money than she gave you for the period of time when she was there. For $350, she could have gotten her name off this lease and not been responsible at all. So I must assume that you wanted to stay in that apartment. Now, the difference is really negligible between what you were paying in your own apartment and this apartment. You were paying that yourself.
She was living there as well, but her name wasn't on the lease and she was helping me.
Helping you was not paying. You didn't take that apartment with the idea that she was going to be paying half the rent.
No.
The first apartment.
I had
right?
I had a lawsuit that I was given, and I had a lot of extra money. And then suddenly when the money ran out and I didn't have any more money left, she was gone. Of course.
No.
It's the way it works.
Got to take care of your own expenses, sir. I think that she gave you every opportunity to fill in the apartment with somebody else for the next couple of months. She tried to do the right thing. She could have just as easily gotten herself totally off the hook by spending a lot less money.
It was still hard for me to find somebody to live with. And
get over it.
All right.
Should have tried harder. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's attacked me before. I have a criminal court case pending right now against him.
I'm definitely not a dangerous man.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tate versus Enrico. Step forward, please.
Community advocate Valoria Tate is suing her neighbor, Secretary Laura Enrico, for slander and damage caused by her cats.
Miss Tate, it is your claim that the defendant's cats damaged some of your property. The two of you are neighbors and share a common garage and storage area, is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And that sometime later, when you tried to remedy this situation yourself, the defendant posted flyers around or passed out flyers in the neighborhood accusing you of trying to poison animals and children.
After her neurotic behavior.
Okay. So how long have the two of you been neighbors and shared this common space?
I've lived there 5 years, and I'm not sure. I would say she's been there maybe 2 years.
Year and a half now.
Year and a half. You have two cats?
Yes.
Now tell me about this common space that you share.
I have pictures of the common area.
I'd like to see them.
That's supposedly where all of us can use the patio area. And I explained to my neighbor that I'm highly allergic to pets, and I can't go down there and entertain myself or my friends as long as cats are living on our tables.
Go ahead.
So I have several pictures.
Is this the common space that you share?
That's part of it. That's in the garage, and that's my personal space. That table was made for me. It's actually higher than a normal
Just
table.
show me okay. Just show me the private space that you have for storage.
Please.
Okay. So tell me how her cats destroyed your property.
Well, it's before they destroyed my literature that I placed in my garage and covered it very well with bags and mothballs, they've already destroyed a couple of plant pots, and used the bathroom in my plant pot.
Did you see that, or did you just assume?
I saw that, and when I saw it, I nicely went over to Laura and I told her, your cat's potted in my plant and my pot, and she would come over, clean it up and say those few nasty things, but she would clean it up. The second time I did that, she was a little more angrier, and she literally went down to the patio, to the common court area, and she turns around like this. Some people don't want my cat to, but not poop. Laura has this thing about you can't tell her to clean up behind her own pets because she feels, as she kind of indicated, cats have a right to.
All right, she'll tell me what she feels.
Okay. So therefore, I went to the management. They said they have approached her several times. They pointed out in this CNRs, the rules, that we can only have house pets. In fact, I asked my owner before I moved. I said, I'm highly allergic.
Can I see the house rules, please?
Yeah. I told him, I said, I'm highly allergic to pets. Do they have pets? He says, no, only house pets.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Valoria Tate says condo neighbor Laura Enrico owes for property damage caused by her cats. Valoria also claims Laura distributed a slanderous flyer calling her a pet killer.
Well, I've read the rules, and the rules clearly say that no pet is to be in a common area. Dog has to be kept on a leash at all times. Is this a picture of your cat on the table?
I can't see it.
Would you give that to her, please?
It's a black cat.
And is your cat a black cat?
He was, yes.
Now, after certain of your property was destroyed, and your complaints say that you found that her cat urinated on a box, right? And there was literature in that box.
Yes.
What did you do?
What did I do?
Complaint, you put mothballs around the area.
Oh, the reason I put the mothballs is before I left for the trip, her cat was in my area up on top of my boxes. I have never seen the cats on the boxes before at that time. So I went into the house, I had some mothballs, left the boxes on the boxes so you can see what they were, and I left. I went on my trip.
Okay. You had a confrontation with the defendant and a friend of hers accusing you of trying to poison children and animals.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then you said that there were some flyers that were distributed. I'd like to see those.
Your Honor, the flyers was placed on everyone's door in our entire complex. There's 26 units.
Did you place this around?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
You got some nerve. You got some nerve.
I have concern for the animals and the children in the complex.
I want to tell you something. You got some nerve. If you have animals that in any way interfere with your neighbor's peaceful enjoyment of their property, you keep your animals in the house. What right do you have to let your animals outside into common areas, on tables, on chairs? What right do you have to do that? None. And you are so arrogant, as to say the last line here is, if you have a problem with allergies, dislikes, phobias, or such about animals in the building, it might be suggested to move to another building. And you go through this whole grandfather clause because two people had cats that were outside. You say now it's grandfather, so your cats can be outside. If you want to have house pets and you want to let them outside, go buy a house in the woods and let your animals out in the woods where they don't bother anybody. But you live in a condominium complex where there are lots of other people. And it is possible that some adults, some children are afraid of cats. Somebody might want to come and put their lunch on the table, and your cat has just been walking around after walking around in feces, now walks around on the table. That's outrageous. And your reaction is, what? Cats will be cats? I mean, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not, but my cats aren't the only ones in the courtyard. We have a lot of strays that come into the garage and come
That may be. She can't complain about strays. Strays are not your problem. Your problem is your two cats. Because you are an owner or a tenant.
I'm an owner.
As an owner, you should want to do everything that you can to preserve the integrity of your space. What are you laughing about? Are you on medication?
No, I'm not, Your No, I'm not, Your Honor, but the demonstrations of irrationality never occurred. She threatened me. She followed me.
Let me ask you this question. Did you ever check with the management company to find out whether Miss Tate ever had any problems with prior tenants?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Did you ever have problems with prior tenants?
No.
I would say that you probably didn't. You keep your cats in your house because that's what the rules say. Specifically, rules that you gave and you signed for when you bought your condominium specifically said that only these two people, long gone, could have their cats out in the courtyard. You signed it. I assume when you signed it, you read it. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
So why didn't you abide by the rules you signed and read? The rules are your cats stay in your house. Yeah, right. And this is nasty.
Don't like having my animals threatened to be killed.
Well, why don't you keep your animals in your house?
I will from now on.
Perfect. Did we just solve that problem?
Yes, you did, Your Honor.
Fine. She doesn't mention your name in this, does she?
No.
Now, it's very possible that other people knew what she was talking about, but she doesn't mention your name.
May I share with you why she didn't have to?
Go ahead.
Because she made such a big scene about I was trying to kill these cats and children. All the neighbors heard it, and then she called the police. Well, they knew there was only one person she was referring to.
That I can't tell you what they knew.
But
she does not mention your name in this flyer. But certainly, Miss Enrico has agreed at this point, is that right, Miss Enrico, that you will keep your cats in your home from now on?
Yes.
Is that correct? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That seems to solve the problem. I will prepare that order, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 51 on the calendar in the matter of Beck versus Isagire. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Beck, are you still a tenant of the defendants?
No, Your Honor.
You moved out?
I still reside at that residence, but she has since sold the building, so she's no longer my landlord.
Okay. Your complaint is that while the defendant was your landlord, she caused you to become ill as a result of spraying pesticides in your apartment, and you want to be reimbursed for the nights that you had to stay out at a hotel and for thousands of dollars in pain and suffering. Now, when was this pesticide spraying incident?
April 1st of 2001.
And what were they spraying for?
Termites.
Had you seen termites?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you notified that they would be spraying?
Verbally, yes.
So what's the problem?
They had just treated my apartment 6 to 8 weeks before that, going through the exact same procedure, spraying the interior of my apartment, which is not the proper procedure, as I've got evidence to prove here. The proper procedure is actually to drill holes in the slabs of the flooring or in the walls so you can actually get to the wood or underneath, because they were subterranean termites. The termites lived in the ground.
All right.
That's where they lived, but they were spraying the interior of my apartment twice in a 2-month period.
All right, 6 to 8 weeks before the incident that caused you difficulty, they sprayed once. Is that right?
Yes.
They sprayed once. And you remained in the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when were you notified that they were going to spray again?
A few days before they came and
So what
sprayed
happened?
on April 1st.
Fine. So what happened? You notified that they were going to come in again?
I was notified that they were going to come in again, and I told her verbally, under no circumstances do I wish for you to spray the interior of my apartment. If you're going to do it, please follow the proper procedures the way it was done a year ago. Drill the holes, get to the termites. I'm giving you access to my apartment so that you can get to the termites, not to spray the interior. There's no need. I'm still smelling the pesticides. I don't need to go through this again. I'm still getting migraines from the last time.
So what happened?
I went to work, came home, found out that she had hired the pesticide guy, and she was there, and he did spray the interior of my apartment, spilled it on my kitchen floor. It had been wiped up. I have cats. They had walked through it. I walked in, and it was just, it was overwhelming, and I hadn't even gathered any materials because I was under the impression that she was going to respect my wishes and not spray the interior again, since that doesn't even take care of the termites anyway.
All right. Now, since April 1st of '01, have you seen evidence of termites in your apartment?
They're back, yes.
They're back?
Yes.
When did they come back?
A month ago.
So it's been almost a year.
Yes, they come. This is their breeding season, right about now. They come back. Seems to be the same time every year to come out and swarm so that they can mate and become termites. I'm learning way too much about termites.
Okay. Now, according to your complaint, the smell was overwhelming and you had to leave your apartment. Where did you go?
The Best Western hotel room. It's approximately about 3 or 4 blocks from my home.
Okay, and how many nights did you stay there?
2.
You have the receipts?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see them, please.
You stay over there.
Okay, sorry. I also needed to purchase HEPA filters to take the pesticide out of the air that I was breathing because I was getting so many migraines. It was suggested by my neurologist.
Why don't you move?
I couldn't afford to. My rent is rent controlled and only $577 a month. And for Los Angeles, a good area, that's extremely good for a 1-bedroom.
So that's pretty good rent, even though the place has termites once a year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so other than the $185.26 that you had to pay in a hotel room because of this smell of pesticides, what do you think that the defendant is responsible for?
I think that she was negligent in hiring an unlicensed pesticide person to come in and spray the interior of my apartment. He is unlicensed, as I have also in that pile is evidence to prove that. An agricultural commission did a report on it. He is an unlicensed contractor, and he had been also previously written up in 1994 for doing the exact same thing, spraying without a license and also spraying with restricted materials. I have no idea what I was exposed to. I have no idea whether or not he followed. I know the procedures that he followed were incorrect.
How do you know he was unlicensed? Give me the tab on here.
Purple? I'm sorry, I color-coded it to make it a little easier for you to find.
Purple
and
what?
that would be purple A1.
What was the name of the person that you hired?
Frigg. On the first page of that, it says...
Don't interrupt. I'm not speaking to you now.
Sorry.
Okay. How many years did you own this building?
I was never actually the owner. My mother was the owner. My parents owned the building for approximately 25 years.
Did you manage the building?
The only time I managed it, if you could call it that, was at the very end. My mother was very ill and she was unable to handle Miss Beck's harassment and complaints, and so I was handling the building at that time for her.
This exterminator that you hired is not licensed.
At the time, I believed that he was. I asked him if he was bonded and licensed. He said yes.
Did you ask to see his credentials?
I asked what his license number was, and he gave me a number. He had been in the business for 45 years and had worked for my mother for 10. And when Miss Beck needed...
So is what you're telling me that this person was the same person who sprayed previously for you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Miss Beck, you said that the apartment had been sprayed previously. This Craig, he is the one who sprayed previously, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many times had he sprayed the apartment before?
I'm not really sure. He had been doing it
for years.
For years.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I
Listen to me.
trusted her, Your Honor, that
Oh,
it was
well,
okay to be in that. I stayed there too.
I want you to be smarter. I don't want you to trust anybody. I want you to trust your own instincts, madam.
And later today,
Your Honor, we had a deal. Deal. We had a deal. I was to learn something. I paid
And you
for
didn't
some
learn
stuff.
anything. Whose fault is that? You went back to work. That is not a loan, Mr. Andre. That's not a loan.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa Beck says former landlord Kathy Izaguirre poisoned her when she sprayed for termites.
Listen, Miss Beck, you don't make a big deal over things that aren't a big deal. Do you understand? You live in a rent-controlled building, which is a very old building. You live there because the rent is cheap, and that doesn't mean that you have to be subjected to things that are terrible. Your landlord can't do terrible things to you, but there are termites, and termites have to be eradicated. I don't think that the defendant did anything terrible to you. I certainly don't think it's worth thousands of dollars. I think that she has to compensate you for the 2 nights that you spent in a hotel because you were unable to use your apartment. I assume you paid your rent on time.
I have proof? Also showing what the proper procedures are.
I don't
follow
care.
When you're.
Listen to me. I don't care what the proper procedures are, madam. I'm telling you that the termites that you complained.
But you don't spray the baseboards of an apartment and let it just sit there for months. There's nowhere for it to go. It was painted over since the 1950s.
Listen to me. Life is full of choices. The choice that you made to leave the apartment for 2 days because you couldn't stand the smell was a good choice. She has to compensate you for that choice because she was quiet. Because she was responsible, even if she used someone who had a degree from Harvard, you might have had a reaction from the pesticides that were used. However, your apartment was rendered through no fault of your own, uninhabitable for 2 nights. Now, if what you're saying, Miss Beck, is that it continues to be uninhabitable, or for months was uninhabitable, or for weeks, or for periods of time that you got headaches and migraines, etc., move! Nobody is holding you in this apartment. If you want to live in an inexpensive, rent-controlled building, which is old, there are some things that you have to tolerate. And I'm telling you, 2 nights lodging, she's responsible for. But thousands for your headache, she is not. Judgment for the placement. Listen to me.
I trusted her, Your Honor, that it was okay to be in that. I stayed there too.
I want you to be smarter. I don't want you to trust anybody. I want you to trust your own instincts, madam. $185. 2 nights at the Best Western.
Interest and the year that she didn't pay me.
What about it?
It's
Deal
been a
with
year.
it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $185. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We have a police report of an occasion when she attacked another tenant, overturned her furniture, and bit and scratched the other tenant.
I never bit anybody. I never
I never scratched anybody.
There have been times when after midnight she's called my home screaming obscenities.
I did have problems with her with noise on one particular occasion, and she was outside.
I just hope that I never have to have another interaction with Melissa Beck again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Andres versus Brazil. Step forward, please.
Brian Andres is suing his ex-fiancée, sales rep Trisha Brazil, for an unpaid loan for office equipment. Trisha is countersuing for the return of personal property, unpaid rent, and harassment.
All right, Mr. Andres, your lawsuit says that the defendant with whom you lived and you have a child with owes you money for a loan for office equipment that allowed her to work in the house.
Correct.
Equipment that you purchased, she used, when you separated, she took, and you want her to pay for it.
Correct.
The defendant says there was never a discussion of a loan for this office equipment. It was a way of her earning a living while you were together because you were incapacitated for a period of time. You were not working. She had to support both you and your son, some that you share. She has a counterclaim, which is a whole bunch of nonsense, and Miss Brazil, let me deal with it right now, because I want to keep this case as clean as possible. You say that he took a camcorder of yours, that he owes you for rent during the time that he was incapacitated last year or the year before, that he said he would pay you for, and a chair. Okay? That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you that I think that's all a bunch of nonsense, and you never would have filed a counterclaim had he not sued you for this office equipment.
That's true. I'm desire to be in court, and I would have never. But
Absolutely right.
But part of what he's suing me for is the camcorder, part of the...
I'm not interested. So let's understand each other. This isn't a tit for tat. He has a lawsuit. I'm going to get to his lawsuit. And I'm not worried about your chair and your camcorder and this old rent bill that he was supposed to pay you if he ever got better.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brian Andres says ex-fiancée Trisha Brazil owes for an unpaid loan for office equipment.
That was your arrangement. You were a family, despite the fact that you didn't have a marriage license. You were operating as a family. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And at a time when you were injured, you discussed with the woman you were living with, the mother of your child, working from home. Is that right? Now, take it from there.
It wasn't so much her simply working from home. She was working for a company and decided that she could work from home, be close with the baby, and that's what we had talked. That's how the whole story got started. I looked at it. I had a large amount of money coming in from my 401k, and I said, well, we could do this. Since I am on disability, I had a very bad broken leg. What I was going to be able to do work-wise was really in question. I did warehouse work, and I taught karate on the side.
You had a very bad broken leg, and you were incapacitated. Right, and you had a baby home.
This wasn't simply an opportunity for her to work from home. The deal was she was going to work from home while I was on disability. She was going to teach me kind of tools of the trade so I can learn something new, so I'd have something to fall back on.
What kind of work were you doing?
I'm in marketing. I do graphic design work.
And you can do that on your computer at home?
Yes.
Okay, fine. When you broke your leg, is that right?
Correct.
Were you living together at the time?
Yes.
How long were you in the hospital?
Maybe 4 days, and I had to go to a rehabilitation hospital for another month.
And then you came home?
No.
And then where did you go?
I had to go to my mother's house. She has a 2-story home, and the bathrooms are upstairs. My mom's house was...
More convenient. So you stayed with your mom for how long?
Probably 2 to 3 months. And then I would go over to Trisha's house. I would stay the night with her. This is all when she was still pregnant with our child. And during the day when she went to work, she would drop me off back at my mother's house so I could...
So she took care of you? You went over there, she picked you up, she took you back. Now, after the baby was born, where did you live?
After the baby was born, I lived with Trisha.
Moved into her house?
Correct.
Okay. Were you ambulatory at that point?
Yeah, with a crutch.
With crutches?
A crutch, eventually a cane, yeah.
Okay, with crutches. Now, the baby was born at that time?
In January, correct.
Who took care of the baby?
I did.
With your crutches?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Good for you. Okay, so explain this loan to me. So now I've got office equipment that she was going to work from out of the house. How did the loan come about, Mr. Andres?
Our deal was she wanted to work from home. I was in a position where I can make that possible. And in return, I wanted to gain some type of knowledge from this. So that
Good. So, keep
it
going.
never happened. Time went on. She continued to use the equipment that I bought for her job that she was at. It never happened. In September, I ended up going back to work for a warehouse in our area. She kept working where she was at, eventually left, and became self-employed.
I don't see a loan, sir.
I bought the stuff, Your Honor. I have the copy of the cash.
So what?
That's the loan.
That's not a loan. That's not a loan, Mr. Andres. Where do you get a loan from that? You had a family. The family had to be supported. Needed, I gather, 2 people, your disability and her work to do it. You said, great, you work from the house. I'm going to buy this equipment so you can work from the house. You'll teach me. Period. End of discussion. It didn't become a loan until you separated.
Your Honor, we had a deal. Deal. We had a deal. I was to learn something. I paid
And you
for
didn't learn
myself.
anything. Whose fault is that? You went back to work. That is not a loan, Mr. Andres. That's not a loan. That's living together and planning a future that doesn't work out. That's not a loan. I understand from Miss Brazil, whose counterclaim I'm not even thinking about. Do you understand that?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell you. During what year do you claim that he owes you for rent?
The year of 2000, and then he paid rent intermittently during 2000 and part of 2001.
Okay, it's old, that's why. Because 2 years later, you don't wake up and say, he owes me for rent in 2000. Because I know and you know that your counterclaim is nonsense. That you would never be here but for the fact of this nonsense about this equipment. Now, what I want to know is, she says that you didn't even bring up the issue of this equipment again until after she took you to court for child support.
That is not true.
Now, but one thing that amazed me, and I just want to find out whether I read it wrong. Are you currently under a child support order, Mr. Andres?
Yes, I am.
What is that order?
It's $38 a month.
That's what I read, $38 a month. What country do you live in?
The United States.
What state in this country?
California.
What county?
Stanislaus County.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now I'm not working. That's why it's $38 a month.
Why are you not working?
I've been looking for work, Your Honor.
Who's supporting you?
I'm staying at my mother's house.
That's nice. Collect cans, sir. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 46 on the calendar in the matter of Perkins versus Spratling. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Perkins, thank you, Bert. According to your complaint, you and the defendant have known each other a very long time. You lived together for a period of time. And while you were living together, you made a loan to him in the amount of $400 to fix his truck. And then you claimed that you purchased a dinette set for the apartment. When you left, or when he put you out of the house, he kept the dinette set. So you want the money that you spent on the dinette set and the $400 loan for his truck. Defendant says there were never any loans. He paid all the bills. Whatever you bought into the house, he bought really to, take care of your end of the bills. And in addition, when you left, you destroyed certain things in the house, and you really damaged his property, doors, threw around his clothes and whatever. So we'll get you a counterclaim in a minute. When did you move in together, Miss Perkins?
In September.
How long had you known him before that?
About 5.5 years.
And were you planning a long-term relationship with him?
Yes.
What was the financial arrangement when you moved in?
Well, he paid all the bills there. I got most of the groceries, and I paid my car note and insurance and my other bills, because we were both using my vehicle at the same time.
You were using your car?
He had my car most of the time because I was at work. I was working 2 jobs, and he had my car throughout the whole day.
What was he doing with your car?
I would get dropped off at work at 8:30, and he would come pick me up from work at 5.
So he was working during the day?
Right. Until, he went to work at 12.
So now tell me about this $400 loan.
Well, in November, he asked me, could he borrow $400 to get his car fixed? And I said, okay.
So he had a car?
But it was never working. He needed the money to get it fixed, so I let him borrow the money.
Fine. Can I borrow $400? Is that what he said to you?
Yeah, so I let him borrow. He came to the job.
Can I borrow $400?
Yes.
And when did he get the money?
In November.
November 28th.
Did you make any arrangement with him with regard to paying back the money?
No set date. He said he was going to give it back. And I asked him plenty of times, you know, can I get the money back? And he would say, okay. And we came across a couple of situations that, agreements that we might come by.
Miss Perkins, listen to me carefully. I don't want you to make things up as you go along.
I'm not.
Good. Okay, you gave him the $400. You continued to live together.
Well, actually, he got the money the day that, he got the money November 28th. That's when everything went down. That's when everything happened.
Is November 28th the day that you separated?
Yes.
When was the last time you lived in the house with him? November 28th?
Actually, it was November 27th. The night of November 27th was turned into November 28th. That's when everything happened, because he had went to the hospital because he had got the young lady pregnant when we were together.
And she was going to have her baby, according to you,
that night.
Day. Okay. What about this dinette set? When did you buy the dinette set?
In October. I gave him the money to go pick up. The dinette set was, they was purchased separately. The chairs was purchased at one place and the table was purchased at the other.
All right, so how much is it, $400?
No, the whole dinette set was $650.
Okay, Mr. Spratling.
Yes, I said I don't owe Erica.
I don't care what you say. Did you take $400 from her on the 27th or 28th of November?
Erica did give me $400.
Did you take
Yes.
$400 from her on either the 27th or the 28th?
Yes, I did.
And when did you put her out of the house?
That same night. That same night,
And what did you do with the $400?
I used that $400 to get my car fixed.
That's pretty coincidental.
Right. If I may, on the 28th or whatnot, I called Erica, let her know that my car was down, and I had needed some money to go ahead and get my car fixed. Erica, being my woman at that time, went ahead and gave me the money. I never went ahead and asked Erica. I never went ahead and told Erica let me borrow any money. Erica went ahead and gave me that money or whatnot to get my car fixed. I never once did I say let me borrow the money or can you loan me this money. By us staying together whatnot, I went ahead and just took it as if we're together whatnot. I didn't ask you for a loan or whatever. I asked you if I told you my car was down. You went ahead and just gave me the money. I never told you, well, Erica.
I heard that already. Move on. That night you put her out of the house, correct?
Correct.
Want to tell me how that came about, sir?
My daughter was being born or whatnot. I went ahead and called Erica, letting her know the situation. And Erica told me that if I stayed overnight at the hospital or whatnot, that she was going to, ruin my apartment or whatnot, because me and her she was getting upset or whatnot.
No, I told you.
So then called and asked my younger brother and my cousin Nisha here if they can go ahead to my apartment, make sure that Erica doesn't, leave and ruin my apartment at the same time. And that's when Erica and my cousin then got into an altercation or whatnot.
Well, Erica got a little crazy and started to throw around your stuff. Isn't that right, Erica?
In my bedroom.
I don't care what bedroom it was. He started throwing around his stuff. Is that right?
Yes.
You were pretty angry.
I was very upset.
Oh, okay. So you want to tell me what you think she owes you?
$2,400.
For what?
We got harassment, damaged property, harassment.
What's the damaged property? Forget harassment. You ought to be harassed. What's next? You ought to be harassed. She wouldn't do it, I'll do it.
All right.
Tell me about the damaged property, sir.
Well, Erica went ahead and the day she came over, on the 28th, she came in and kicked in my door.
Show me the bill. Did you kick in his door?
I didn't kick in the door. I had keys to the door. I had no reason to kick in it. My sister kicked in the door.
Was she with you?
Oh, yes, she was with me.
Good, so you're responsible. Cost them $100 for new locks. What else?
Then, that right there is for, can I see this, please? That there is for assault or whatnot. This is
for what?
Assault. Erica also came over to my house again after we had already broken up or whatever, banging on my door or whatnot, almost getting me evicted from my apartment or whatever. She then kicked the door, breaking my molding and whatnot.
All right.
This here's the police report for that.
I don't care about the police report. Where's the bill?
I don't have a bill for that.
So how am I supposed to figure out how much that cost? What'd you kick in his door for,
I've
Erica?
never kicked in the door. I've never kicked the door at all.
All right.
I've never did it.
Well, since he doesn't have a bill, I can't help you anyway. But you certainly are responsible for new locks that he had to put on because your sister kicked in the door. Because your sister was
I told
angry.
her to stop kicking it in because I had the keys to the door. So
She's your responsibility, my dear.
I don't tell her what to do.
Fine. Then you know what you should do? Sue her for the $100 because it's coming off your claim. Do you understand that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, what else?
a broken chain. The day Erica came in, the second time she came in and assaulted me or whatever, she broke my chain.
That was my chain.
Shh, shh. No, it wasn't. You gave it to him.
No, I've never given him that chain.
Oh,
He
really?
wore it throughout the relationship. I've never said, here, you could have this chain.
Oh, stop.
I let him wear it.
Stop it. How many years has he worn it?
A year.
That's a long time.
I mean,
now it's
even
become his.
we
Adverse
have been-
possession. Listen, now it's his. She broke the chain?
Yes, Your Honor.
My chain.
Oh, put it back in your pocket. What other damage? Let's hear. Let's hear. You want to give me any other nonsense? I really have a very busy day.
Oh, that's basically all.
Good, fine.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You were dumb enough to buy it, pay
Why
to
would I
have
have
it moved.
to pay for it? I mean, I'm not
Listen, you
understanding.
want him to keep the dinette set?
No, I want the dinette
Then
set.
get it.
And later today,
Why don't you have a job? What do you
I was
do?
going to school. I was getting ready to go to school.
Going to school and getting ready to go to school are entirely different things.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Erica Perkins says ex-boyfriend Carl Spratling owes for a loan and for the return of a dinette set. Carl says Erica gave him the money so he could fix his car.
All right, where's the dinette set?
It's in my apartment.
Good, you're going to give it back to her. And we're going to pack it up and we're going to give it back to her, and you're going to give it back to her in very, very good condition. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. I have a question.
Well, I'm not usually here to answer questions, but in your case, I'll make an exception. What's your question?
Well, basically, my question is, why am I giving her a dining room set, which I told Erica not to purchase, would not due to our relationship. We were already on shaky terms. I asked Erica not to purchase this dining room set.
Yes.
I said, Erica, don't buy this dining room set because.
And she didn't listen. Erica,
okay.
Shut up. So what's your question? You told her not to buy it.
I told her not to buy it or whatnot.
You told her not to buy it.
Correct.
And she bought it anyway.
Correct.
So what's your question?
So I'm wondering, like, I told her not to buy it. She purchased it anyway. She told me, I was like, well, Erica, I don't want you buying this dinette set due to the fact that if me and you were to break up, that, you're going to want to take it with you. I quote, Erica sat there and told me that if me and her was to break up, I can have the dinette set. She was just going to leave with her items.
I want you to be quiet if I need you. So what's your question?
Why am I returning it when she told me I can have it?
Why are you returning it?
Correct.
I'm going to give you the answer. Because I said so. That's the answer.
Right.
For the same reason that you're going to give her back the $400, which now becomes $300 because I'm taking $100 off for the locks her sister broke. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff following $300 in cash, plus the dinette set is to be packed up. 5 days from today, you arrange for it to be moved to wherever you want it moved. Do you understand?
So I would have to pay for the expenses to it for me so that it could be removed.
You have to pay to have it moved. Yes, you were dumb enough to buy it, pay to
Why
have
would
it
I have
moved.
to pay for it though to be moved? I understand, but I don't. I mean, I'm not.
Listen, you want him to keep the dinette set?
No, I want the dinette set.
Then get it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If she wanted, she can have it. I'll buy my own.
I mean, he did get a young lady pregnant when we worked together.
He told her not to buy it, and she wanted to buy it anyway. It was her stupid decision.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Heath versus Carter. Step forward, please.
Street sweeper Ray Heath is suing his ex-girlfriend, 20-year-old student Nicole Carter, for unpaid rent and for damages to their apartment. Nicole is countersuing, also for apartment damages and for the cost to change the locks.
Mr. Heath, you and Miss Carter decided to set up housekeeping in your own apartment, and you leased an apartment together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you lease the apartment?
April of 2001.
And because neither of you probably had very good credit, your aunt had to co-sign the lease.
Yes, ma'am.
And then there came a time when you and the defendant had an argument, and she called the police and had you removed.
Yes, in August.
And you stayed out of the apartment because she got a protective order against you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
However, she wasn't paying the rent.
Right.
And in order for not only your credit, but primarily, I'm sure, your aunt's credit not to be destroyed, you continued to pay the rent on the apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want the defendant to pay at least her half of the rent for the months that you weren't there, that she lived there, until you could get out of the lease. And how many months' rent did you pay from August until when, sir?
The agreement was made when we first moved in April. I paid the rent from April 2001 to January of 2002.
What was the entire rent?
$5,338.
That's an expensive apartment a month. I just want you to tell me, sir, how much a month was the rent?
Oh, $475. I'm sorry about that.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay rent in May, June, or July?
No,
Any
ma'am.
rent? You did not?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't pay any rent at all in this apartment?
Nope.
Is that right?
He agreed to pay for the rent, and I clean, cook, and pay the electricity and stuff like that.
Did you have an agreement with her where she would pay half the rent?
No.
Yes,
Why?
yes, ma'am. Yes, we did. I have my aunt as a witness.
Are you the one who co-signed on this lease?
Yes.
Would you step up, please? Tell me your last name.
Wilkins.
Miss Wilkins, did these two young people come to you and ask you to sign the lease, co-sign the lease?
Yes, they did.
Both of them?
Both of them. I asked Nicole, was this true that she was going to pay half of the rent, and she told me yes.
Does that sound right?
No, ma'am.
Sure it does. Sure
No,
it does.
That's not how it went.
Listen, were you working?
Nope.
Why not?
At the time when we moved out, we didn't have anywhere to stay at, so I lost my job. That's when he said
May, June, July,
I never
August,
had a job.
September. Why don't you have a job? What do you
I was
do?
going to school. I was getting ready to go to school.
No. Going to school and getting ready to go to school is entirely different things.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ray Heath says ex-girlfriend Nicole Carter owes for unpaid rent and apartment damages. Nicole says Ray abused her throughout their relationship.
Why weren't you working?
Because I had no transportation.
Aren't there any stores around this place where you were living?
Mm-hmm. I was looking.
What do you do for a living, sir?
Well, at the time, I was driving a sweeper. The
Now let's
streets.
get to the time you put him out of the apartment. Tell me about that.
Well, at the time, he'd been abusing me the whole time I've been with him.
Well, that's,
So-
you know, if you allow that to happen,
Yeah.
then you're just as stupid as he is guilty.
You're right. You're right. So we got into an argument over a car that my mother had gave me, and he took my keys.
What kind of an argument did you get into?
Well,
Your mother had given you a car, right? Mm-hmm. Your mother had given you a car, so now you had transportation so that you could get a job.
Yeah. You're right.
Right.
So,
well, now what kind of argument did you have?
He didn't like the fact that I was driving my car, going other places other than looking for a job.
Sounds right to me. He's
But no,
paying
it
all
wasn't
the bills.
It wasn't only that. It was just the simple fact that he didn't like my relationship with my mom, my mother coming around, and people that came to the house. He just was very overprotective. He didn't even want me to leave the house. If I wasn't looking for a job, he didn't want me leaving the house. He just wanted me there to cook, clean, and be there for him.
Okay. So you had an argument. Mm-hmm. What happened during this argument?
He was trying to take my keys from me, so I went to the bathroom to go put on some clothes, and he just grabbed the door open, grabbed me, and swung me into the bed on the floor. Grabbed my keys and left.
He took your keys and he took you out of the bathroom forcefully and threw you on the bed or the floor.
He threw me to the bed, but I landed on the floor.
He missed.
Mm-hmm.
So you called the police.
Yep.
And you had him removed.
Mm-hmm.
And you got an order of protection.
Next day, when he came back again.
Good. Now you have your car that your mother gave you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lovely smile.
Thank you.
So why couldn't you get a lovely job so that you could pay the rent? Who did you expect to pay the rent?
He put me through so much stuff where...
Who did you expect to pay the rent?
I was going to pay the rent. I had no problem with paying the rent. My mother would have helped me pay the rent, but I just couldn't get him out the house. He still was coming back to the house the whole time, even after I put him out. My house was broken into twice. He was coming, leaving notes, all types of things like that.
You lived there. Why didn't you pay your half of the rent?
Because he agreed to take care of me.
I don't believe you. That after you put him out of the house,
he had been taking care of
listen
me
to
the
me
whole time.
carefully. That after you put him out of the house, that he agreed to take care of you.
When I went to go pay the rent, they told me the rent was already paid, so what was I supposed to do? Just say, oh, well, take my money and give him his back?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, Mr. Heath, listen to me very carefully. You were put out in August. 6 months you paid rent, and you did not have the use of your apartment. The rent is $475 a month. That is $2,850. Half of that is $1,425. Do you understand? You have to think more carefully about what you do, but she's certainly responsible for that. The other 3 months that she lived there with you and you didn't collect her half of the rent, chalk up to your own stupidity. I mean, she's got a great smile and everything else, but you have to separate here from the other parts of your anatomy. In any event, now let's get to your counterclaim. You had to change the locks 3 times because he kept coming back inside?
Twice, yeah.
That's
He
the
was not.
interest.
It wasn't even that he kept coming in. He had broke in twice. He still had access to the house, and I got the locks changed. He still was coming in there, leaving notes like turn the lights off and stuff like that. He was coming get his clothes. Oh, he was living there. If I wasn't there, he was there.
You mean he was sleeping there?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I would come there some nights and the bed would be messed up.
But he wasn't there.
But I was just scared. He wasn't there when I got there.
Okay. You changed the locks that made you feel safer?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because he was still calling, like, turn the lights off.
Explain something to you. Go home and live with your mother.
I did.
Good. You should have done it sooner. You should have done it sooner. The only reason you did it was because you didn't have the sucker anymore to pay your way.
Basically.
Basically. That's absolutely right. As soon as the sucker stopped paying your way, then you move back with your mother. You're a
That was
taker.
his agreement.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,425, and you get zippo, nada, nothing on your counterclaim.
Well, at least
That's
I
all.
had an apartment.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 88 on the calendar in the matter of Whiteacre versus Wells. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Whiteacre, was the defendant a boyfriend of yours who was living in your house?
Yes, he was.
How long did he live in your house?
About 4 months.
And you were living with your parents?
Yes.
And your claim is that he ran up some bills while he was living there.
Correct.
And in addition to the bills, you also have an IOU that he signed.
Correct.
The defendant says, he doesn't talk much about the bills in his answer, but he says he was forced to sign the IOU under duress. So first, let me take a look at the bills. Then let me take a look at the IOU. You're going to tell me a little bit about why he came to live with you and what the bills were for. And then I'm going to hear all about the duress.
Everything.
Can you tell me why he came to live in your house?
He came to live with us 17th of October in 2001. We had been dating when we both lived in Seattle. I had to return home to California and he had to return to Syracuse. We had been communicating in between then, letters, emails, phone calls, and we both thought that each other was the right one.
You both thought what?
Each other was the right one. And, well, we aren't, but...
Go ahead.
Okay, and so he came to live with me, and it was only supposed to have been until about the middle of January. Things had deteriorated so much by then that he moved out the next month.
And while he was there, what kind of bills did he run up?
When he arrived, he had virtually no clothes. I ended up taking him to Mervyn's, and he spent about $150 there on clothing for work.
Well, what did you tell him about that expenditure?
When he came to me and said, would it be all right if I went and got some clothes and used your credit card? I'll take over the payments. And I said, well, I actually owe some money on my credit card, so why don't you just give me the money? And he said, okay.
And he never gave you the money?
He ended up giving me about $150 of what he owed, and that's it, in 2 payments.
All right, well, what else? Because I see a lot of little charges here. $15, $3.57.
He actually paid some of that money.
Well, what didn't he pay?
He paid 2 things virtually when they were put on my credit card. One was his cell phone bill, which was $53, and another one he gave me partial amounts of money, the $80 for cable internet bill, I believe.
What's $103 in interest?
That's how much interest. He's been accruing this interest more or less since October.
I'm going to read something to you. I, Seth Q. Wells, do agree to pay Summer Whiteacre $343.17 in credit card charges, and then you crossed out, I assume you crossed out, I do further agree to pay 6% interest calculated each month until the end of April, when the above debt will be paid in full. Did you cross out the interest part? Take a look.
No, she crossed that out. I did not cross it out.
That is your signature.
Yes, it is.
Then here we go, sir. It's your turn. Talk to me about this duress.
Basically, she was in the process of she was moving the last of my stuff to my new apartment. And we had been discussing the relationship and the end of the relationship. And it basically got to the point where she was really upset and out of control. Like, literally, I was not...
Explain to me out of control.
Basically, she was crying,
and yelling at me, saying that it was, I needed to accept my part of the responsibility for the relationship, and her speed was increasing. And
You were
I
in the car?
Yes, I was in the passenger
Yes.
seat. And I literally did not feel safe under the situation. And she has actually been in the same mindset before, and I felt the same feeling of being unsafe with the way she was driving.
He chooses to bring up... I'm sorry.
And, I mean, I couldn't, I did not feel...
Will you get to the IOU, please?
Yeah, well, she handed it over to me saying, you have to sign this, and this is when she was...
Where was it when she handed it to you?
It was in her hand, and she handed it over to me. We were in the car.
Well, she was driving.
Yes.
And she's crying.
Yes.
And she hands this over to you.
She looked over and handed it to me.
Right. Is that when you gave him this, in the car?
Yes, it was in the car.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. So you signed it while she was driving?
Right. I basically felt that if I did not sign it, then it would have escalated, and I didn't know to what point.
Okay, now you sign it.
Yes.
Does she calm down?
Yes, she did.
And were you still holding it?
Yes, I was. Well, after I signed it, I did hand it back.
And she took it back while she was...
While she was driving.
While she was driving?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And hysterical?
Yes.
Does that sound right to you?
Not really. I was upset. I wanted him to stand up and say, yes, I am responsible for these charges. He chooses to bring up relationship issues in
I'm
the car.
not interested in relationship issues. I'm talking about fear.
I don't see how he could have been afraid. He is quite a bit larger than I am.
He doesn't have the car behind him.
He could have overpowered me at any time.
I wasn't afraid of you.
No.
I was afraid of the
Look,
driving.
Mr. Wells, you signed the IOU.
Yes.
Paid the lady the money, $343.17. Pretty exact amount. Are these your charges?
Yes.
Then what are we here for?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
At worst, you're paying for your own clothing that I assume you're wearing.
Yes.
She's not getting any pleasure from it. She's not seeing you in it when you're going out for dinner.
And later today,
I've trained hundreds of people at that school. I've never had an incident like this.
That's a pretty nasty email from a businessman.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Summer Whiteacre says ex-boyfriend Seth Wells owes for credit card charges and bills while they lived together. Seth says he was forced to sign a promissory note.
If they're your charges, who cares whether you were forced to sign an IOU under duress?
Part of them was already paid for.
She gave you credit for what you paid for, sir.
Right, what I paid for is part of that list. It's not the clothing. The clothing, she had said, and I said, you know, it'll be a while before I get, you know, my first paycheck and be able, you know, to pay you back. And she said, don't worry about it, you don't have to. It was the beginning of the relationship, and, you know, when everything is, like, wonderful and happy. And I said, okay. She said, you don't have to, don't worry about it. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yes.
So you're saying to me these are your charges, but it was a gift?
The clothing, yes, was a gift.
Yes.
The rest of it was not, which I did pay the $150.
But there's more charges here than $150, sir.
I'm not exactly sure how that's been. It's been increasing every time she talks to me, so I'm not sure what she's. It's always a new amount.
I don't know. All I know is I can't be bothered with the two of you anymore. We're talking about $343.17. At worst, you're paying for your own clothing. That's the worst scenario. Right. Clothing that I assume you're wearing. Is that right? Not
Absolutely.
Today, necessarily. But you're wearing it.
Yes.
She's not getting any pleasure from it. She's not seeing you in it when you're going out for dinner.
No.
So, don't make a big deal of it. Just pay the money, put a period, sayonara, and goodbye. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff, $343.17. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I broke up because she had cheated on me. She got bitter because I broke up with her, and now suddenly, you know, now you owe me this, now you owe me that.
He's the biggest loser I could have ever found in my entire life, and he can't own up to his mistakes.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Parker Cruz versus Bumper. Step forward, please.
20-year-old student Brittany Parker and her friend, 19-year-old student Nil Marie Cruz, are suing boxing coach Jada Bumpus for a refund of the money they paid for boxing lessons.
All right, you two ladies go to college, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you decided to sign up for some boxing lessons for exercise with the defendant. One of you paid in full $150. Which one was that? And you are?
Brittany Parker.
And Miss Cruz, you didn't pay the 150, you paid 100.
Yes.
And you told Mr. Bumpers that you would be giving him the other $50 when you came back. Each of you took one lesson, and then you decided not to continue for whatever reason, and you want your money back.
Yes.
Defendant says, no way. Aside from everything else, you stood him up for about 4 classes. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When was your first boxing lesson?
November 7th was a Wednesday.
Do you have a contract with the defendant?
We didn't sign any contract, but we had receipts.
Was there any conversation about the 10 lessons? How many lessons you were supposed to take within a certain period of time?
We figured that we'd do it every Wednesday and Friday at 4 o'clock.
And you were supposed to be there on Friday?
Yes.
Did you go?
No, I called them at 7 that morning because I had a family emergency that sprung up on Thursday, so I had to be home.
What kind of an emergency?
Well,
not well. What kind of an emergency, Ms. Parker?
My family was going through a divorce. Well, my parents were going through a divorce at the time, and I had to attend to my mother's needs.
The following Wednesday, did you show up at 4 o'clock?
Yes, we both did.
Did you take a lesson?
No.
Why not?
Because he wasn't there.
Why weren't you there, Mr. Bumpus?
Because the class was scheduled for 3:30 to 4:30 was the agreement. It's 4 o'clock is very conveniently, they've come up with this time. It was scheduled from 3:30 to 4:30, and we agreed that it'd be twice a week. Because I gave them a big discount, I usually charge $250 for 10 private 1/2 hour sessions. To college students, I charge $185 because they're college students. When Brittany Parker called me, it was 7 weeks after September 11th attack. Business was slow. I said, I'll give you a $25 discount if you sign up right away for $160. She said, well, I got a friend that wants to sign up. Well, what if the 2 of us sign up? So I said, well, you bring me $300 and the 2 of you can sign up.
Does that sound right? All but the time. I'm not sure if it was at 3:30 or 4.
So you're not sure?
Well, it's been a while. This was back in November.
Well, if you're not sure, then he knows, and it was at 3:30.
Whatever time it was, if it was 3:30 that we were supposed to meet him, that's what time we were there.
You don't know that at all. So did you call him when he wasn't there?
Yeah, I called him right away when we were standing at the gym waiting for him.
Did you reach him?
Nope. Voice left a message on his answer machine.
When did you next contact Mr. Bumpus?
I finally checked my my email that day or night, and I found the emails that he sent me over the weekend after the Friday class that we missed.
Well, can I see those emails?
Yeah, I have them all here. The first one is the introduction to his program.
No,
it's about 3 pages long.
Mr. Bumpus, I'd like you to take a look at this email, please, and tell me if you recall sending it.
Okay. This may be. It looks.
It was a message that you sent, sir. I have the other email
yeah,
here.
it looks like.
Okay, so let me get the time frame correctly. Give me that back, please. Time frame is they come in and they start and they take one boxing lesson on Wednesday, November 7th. They were supposed to come back on the 9th for another lesson and didn't show up.
Right.
Right? You didn't show up. Now, he's entitled to be paid for the 9th when you didn't show up. He was waiting there for you. He says he didn't get the message. You didn't reach him. You may have called him in the morning, but you didn't reach him. Is that right?
No.
No. But then, come Wednesday, he says you're supposed to be there at 3:30, and he indicates that in the email. He'd like to see you between 3 and 3:30. But on Tuesday, sir, the day before, Tuesday, you've already sent this rather nasty email.
Can I explain it?
Well, you sent them.
Can I
you
explain
sure
why?
can, but let me tell you
Okay,
what
go
you
ahead.
said. You said in the email, the price of my classes is $185. You bargained me down on the premise that you would each give me $150. Then Nell Marie showed up with only $100, promising to bring the rest on Friday. Without an utterance from her, you called at the last minute and claimed that the 2 of you would be seeing me the following lesson tomorrow, Wednesday. And then you write in block letters, wrong. I can't and won't do business like that. Neither of you have shown an ounce of integrity in my dealings with you. Unless you can assure me that you'll give me $10 and Nell Marie $60, the original charge of $160, then I won't give you classes until you meet your obligation, period. So you changed the contract from 150 to 160 in here. I expect to hear from you by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, don't expect to see me. That's a pretty nasty email from a businessman. Go ahead.
They lied. Number one, she didn't call and leave a message at my house at 7 in the morning. I hadn't left. When I got back from Amherst, my tape machine said 1:20 in the afternoon.
I just said to you, sir, she has to pay for that lesson.
No, but I'm just saying.
Now listen
this,
to me.
Okay.
They have to pay for that lesson.
Okay.
They stood you up. If you say you made the trip, they're going to pay for that lesson.
But that
doesn't explain this
the
kind
anger
of email.
the anger is now she had the family emergency as she presented, but it was Nomari who didn't have my money. She was going home because it was like Veterans Day weekend. Now the story has changed that she had family problems.
I don't even know if she had
Nomari-
family problems.
That's what got me so upset, because it was a game, because we had gone over a 2-week period for them finally getting them to meet me. I don't have time for games. I've trained hundreds of people at that school. I've never had an incident like this. I
can't believe that, sir, when you deal with college students, that you haven't had an incident like this.
Not like this. I haven't, I'm telling you.
This is not bizarre. It's two college girls. One decided to go home for Veterans Day weekend. The other one didn't have the other $50. You, however, Mr. Bumpus, and I'm not excusing that, they were a little irresponsible, and they didn't respect your time.
But I took away the anger in a future conversation.
I don't care whether you took it away or not. This said, now I'm changing the contract. It's not 150 anymore. Now it's 160. Well, you've already got a lot of their money. Far more than you've invested in the boxing lessons, sir. Far more.
Well, that's a matter of what you think value is. I tell everybody that signs up with me, the first class really is what you're paying for. The rest are free, because you learn so much in that first class. They learned things that they wouldn't have learned in 6 months in the average boxing gym. And that's the bottom line.
Just figure this out. $150 divided by 10 lessons equals $15 a lesson per person.
Numerically,
They took-
I understand. Yeah.
That's my job here. I'm not really good at numbers, but that's what it is. It comes out to $15 a lesson for 1 hour. Miss Parker paid you $150. She took one lesson. She missed another lesson that she had scheduled, and I don't find there's any valid reason, because I think that this is all a lot of baloney, this other reason that you gave me, which means that Mr. Bumpus owes you, if you canceled, $120. And the reason I say that is Mr. Bumpus, in his email to you, changed the contract from 150 to 160, and he can't unilaterally do that. So Mr. Bumpus has to refund to you, madam, $120. And he has to refund to Miss Cruz, who only paid $100, and who also, for no valid reason, skipped a class when he was there waiting for you. He's entitled to be paid for his time. He's got other things to do with his time. And you're entitled to $70. Ms. Parker, I don't know what statute you're looking at that says you're entitled to treble damages, which you're suing for, triple the 120.
Under the 93A Massachusetts law.
You're not going to get it.
That's
you have
fine.
to act responsibly.
But that's under the law. That's why I had legal advice to do that.
All right. Well, your legal advice was wrong. You have to behave responsibly in order to avail yourself of a claim that is punitive against him, giving you triple the amount of damages that you're suing for. And you two girls did not act really responsibly. You know, you have to start to value other people's professional time. And his time is his money. So you have to act responsibly. You are entitled, however, to a refund in the lessons that you didn't take because Mr. Bumpus changed the terms of the contract. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 149 on the calendar, the matter of Gilhooly versus Nelson.
Expert.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Gilhooly, according to your complaint, the defendant was your boyfriend. You lived together for a period of time. You no longer live together, no longer boyfriend and girlfriend, but you claim that he owes you for a car, that he owes you for half of a trip to Las Vegas. The defendant says that the trip to Vegas was a gift. He doesn't discuss the car, which you have. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
And you are counterclaiming because you say that Miss Gilhooly, in a fit of rage, vandalized your car to the tune of $4,700.
That's correct.
Okay. How long did you live together?
15 months, Your Honor.
15 blissful months. When did it start and when did it end?
We met in January and ended April 28th of this year.
Now tell me about the car.
Your Honor, I purchased the vehicle on January 12th.
And you say you purchased the vehicle?
Correct.
I'm reading between the lines in your complaint when you say you purchased the vehicle. Am I correct that it was supposed to be his car, but he was supposed to pay for it?
Correct.
You took out the loan?
Correct.
Down payment? Who put down the down payment?
Basically, Your Honor, it was a cashier's check. It was paid in full. I took out a personal loan, and the car was purchased by a cashier's check.
And the car was to be his car with monthly payments being made to you to pay back the loan?
Correct.
Is that right, sir?
Yes.
And how much was the total amount of the car that you paid?
The vehicle was $2,700.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 93 GMC Jimmy.
Did you pay her back?
No.
Why not?
Well, I was paying the payments until August 20th when we broke up. She
said you broke up in April.
Well, April 28th is when we broke up. Until then, I made payments all the way until April. Last payment I made was April 10th. And then April 28th, when the vandalism was done to the vehicle, I had to get the vehicle fixed eventually.
I see. So the vehicle that she vandalized was this vehicle?
Yes.
So you decided not to make any payments on it?
Not until like I owed her anything because she vandalized my vehicle and did the damage.
Gotcha. How much did you pay totally on the car?
I gave her $300 totally towards the loan on the vehicle.
Is that right?
He gave me more, Your Honor. He made 3 payments of, I have it out to $410.
$410. You see how honest she is?
Okay. Yeah.
So that means that you still owe her $22.90 on the car.
Right.
Now tell me about the trip to Las Vegas.
Alan and I were scheduled to leave on a Friday afternoon, and he did not get his paychecks in time. And I stated to Alan, I'm going with or without you, because I was meeting family out there. And he stated to me that he would pay me when I got back.
Your arrangement with him was you would pay for his plane fare?
We drove, Your Honor.
So what kind of expenses did you have when you were there?
Hotel, restaurant, gambling fees, things of that nature.
And what was the total amount?
The total amount for the Vegas trip came out to $1,869.13. I'm asking for $934.56.
Now you tell me your version of the Vegas trip.
Well, the Vegas trip was, I really didn't want to go because I'm pretty busy with my work and stuff. And she wanted me to go, and I said, well, I really can't afford to go, and I've got to keep my job and keep busy because we had kind of a slow winter this year. So she goes, well, you come out because she wanted me to meet her family. All of her family was going to be out there. And she goes, well, we got to go out there, and I want to go out there, and I want you to come with me. So I said, well, how's this trip going to work? And she goes, well, I'll take care of it. If you can pay me back, you can pay me back. And if you can't, you can't. That was the arrangements. But then at the time...
just a second. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So she said, I'll take care of it. And if you can pay me back, you'll pay me back. And if you can't, you can't? Is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What kind of work were you doing, Mr. Nelson, at the time that you went on the Vegas trip?
I was working in the heating and air conditioning business, which I do. I do new construction. Plus, we were remodeling, we were finishing her basement in her house.
What work were you doing, Mr. Nelson? You may think that you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You don't.
Okay.
When was the Vegas trip?
The end of March, Your Honor.
The end of March of this year?
Yes.
Who were you working for where you got a paycheck or cash every week or every 2 weeks?
My job.
Well, what was your job, sir?
Doing my job, heating and air conditioning, construction.
Heating and air conditioning and construction.
Yep.
Are you still working for the same company?
I worked for a few different builders.
Is this your busy season?
Yep.
This season?
Yeah, summer.
Summer is your busy season?
Yep.
Is it busier than it was in March? Or the same?
About the same.
Good. So that you can pay her back. The contract was you would go on the trip to Vegas, and according to you, if you can pay her back, you will. And if you can't, you can't. But you can, because you have a job and you have money, so you can pay her back. Right? Perfect. So it wasn't a gift. You just told me what the terms of the contract were. You got it, Mr. Nelson?
Yep.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She asked me, well, I want the keys to the truck. I said, no, you can't drive the truck, you're drunk. And then she just started going crazy on my truck. The key in the vehicle, pulling on the bent the antenna, broke my wipers off.
Did you do anything to his antenna?
I bent it, but I put it back.
And later today,
I worked 6 and sometimes 7 days a week in order to make ends meet.
And who was taking care of the children when you were working?
She would be there at the house during that period of time.
And if she wasn't watching them, someone would have had to have watched them. Right?
I could have taken care of that too.
I'm sure you could have, but you didn't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deborah Gilhooly says her ex-boyfriend, Alan Nelson, owes for the unpaid balance on a car. Alan says he stopped paying after Deborah vandalized the vehicle.
Tell me about the vandalism to your car.
Okay, here's some pictures, Your Honor.
No, tell me about when it happened, sir.
Well, we were at the bar on April 28th, 2002. Yeah, about 5:30. I ran into a few friends at a local bar that I hang out in where I grew up. And Debbie doesn't like the person that I met. She got angry. She had a few beers in her. She was intoxicated. She went off and sat in the corner by herself at the bar. And we didn't talk for 30 minutes. Then she came back to me. And then she asked me, well, I want the keys to the truck. I said, no, you can't drive the truck. You're drunk. Oh, no. And she goes, no, my little brother was there. My brother Kevin was there. And he offered to give her a ride home. So then they walked out, and then she just started going crazy on my truck. And then she comes back in the place, and she goes,
what do you mean start going crazy?
She just started riding over, lipstick all over, key in the vehicle, pulling on bent the antenna, broke my wipers off. And I got pictures to prove damage.
I'd like to take a look at the pictures. Did you damage his truck?
I wrote on the vehicle, yes, Your Honor.
Did you key it?
No, I wrote with the ballpoint pen.
Well, if you wrote with a ballpoint pen, that means it scratched it.
Right, but it wasn't a key. Sorry.
Keyed, wrote with a ballpoint pen. Well, you can't do that.
I understand that.
Did you do anything to his antenna?
I bent it, but I put it back. I'm sorry.
So what does your car need? A new paint job?
Yeah, I have an estimate here for you, too.
The estimate better be a real cheap estimate, sir.
Oh, I got more damage. There's still more pictures.
Listen to me.
Okay.
You paid $2,700 for this car.
Yep.
You think I'm going to let you paint it and fix it for $5,600?
No, I didn't ask for that.
You think I'm going to let you paint it and fix it for $4,700, which is what your counterclaim is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wrong. In whose name is the car titled?
My name. And right now there's a loan against it.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
I had to pay for the transfer case, and transmission went out after her and I separated. And I had to take a loan against it to get it out of the shop. And it was $2,600, and I borrowed $3,000 against it.
Somebody gave you $3,000 against a $2,700 car?
Yep.
That's why banks are failing.
Can I see the evidence as far as that lien? And
Sure. I'll show you the pictures. Do you have the lien?
I also,
I don't have a lien with me now,
have pictures too.
But I have pictures too of this more that I want to show you. This profanity that's on the vehicle.
She wrote all over your car.
But 42 years old? That's, I mean, a 17-year-old kid wouldn't even do that. I mean, come on, she's 42 years old. Come on.
How old are you?
27. How mental stable is that?
What? You probably did the wrong thing.
So take it out of my vehicle, then I got to drive around this
No.
vehicle that says F you all over it, all kinds of profanity all over it. I got to drive it all over the place.
What? It's a car that you don't have to drive anywhere. You didn't pay for it.
But I did do work for her in her house. I did remodel. I did do the basement.
Were you living in the house?
Yes, I was.
How much rent were you paying?
I was paying whatever I could afford to pay her. But then I was.
Listen to me. That's not an answer.
Okay. So
you worked off your rent?
$10,000 worth?
Yeah, well, you know, some people are more expensive than others. Ms. Gilhooly, you see, your problem is that he owes you $22.90 for the car. He could probably get the car painted and buffed out or whatever, so it would look reasonable. At least he wouldn't walk around looking like a large profanity sign, you know, for $500-600. Or maybe he did. Did you have it painted, by the way?
No, I have not done it yet.
So you're driving around with a car that is really terrible looking.
Your Honor, he buffed out the word liar. I have pictures of that, too.
He what?
He buffed out the word liar. You got that out of the vehicle.
Well, you know, when you have a temper tantrum, you got to pay for your temper tantrum.
I understand.
And your temper tantrum's got to cost you some money. So I'm issuing a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,624. I have deducted the $600 so that Mr. Nelson can get his car painted.
Yes, Your Honor.
Modestly painted. And I suggest that you both go, be happy. You have had no contact since April?
A little bit, not much.
What do you mean a little bit, not much?
We're trying to set up appointments to meet, but it's over. My life's been on. My life's went on. I've got a kid on the way, so.
Got a kid on the way?
Yes.
When?
It's due February.
Oh, when did you get married?
I am not married.
Wunderbar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor. You may step out.
And I helped the investor make her house go up and her value of her house go up and everything, about $30,000, and then I still got paying $2,600 some odd dollars. I don't think that's fair.
I would have liked to see the vehicle back, but oh well.
She's psycho. She has mental problems.
He's a basic idiot.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Toller versus Falk. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Renee Toller is suing her ex-boyfriend, service technician Bobby Falk, for an unpaid loan. Bobby says the purpose of the loan was to get Renee out of debt.
Miss Toller, the defendant is your former boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you live together?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
From when to when?
I think I moved in with him last year, around June. We planned to have a baby together. I got pregnant 2 months later after I went off the pill. He got a summons to court to go.
You're getting way ahead of yourself. I asked you a question. When did you move in together? You said June.
June.
June of 2001?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you move out?
Moved all my belongings out the morning of April 13th.
It is your claim that during the time that you lived together, you took out a personal loan so that Mr. Falk could pay some back child support?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my ex-mother-in-law took out the loan for us.
Your ex-mother-in-law?
Yes, ma'am.
You
My
have
children's paternal grandmother.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
And when is this baby expected?
In 22 days.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Toller says the father of her unborn child, Bobby Falk, owes for a loan. Bobby says the loan was taken out so Renee could clear up her debt.
Now tell me about this loan. Did you agree to pay back your ex-mother-in-law?
Yes, both of us did. Bobby said he could pay it off within 90 days. He had 2 vinyl siding jobs coming up.
What was the total amount of the loan?
$3,500.
And how much of it was used to pay his child support?
$2,600.
Was that money given to him?
Mm-hmm.
By
Yes.
whom?
The loan was deposited in my bank account. The money order that paid his child support came out of my bank account. And I have the papers here.
Let me see. Are you paying back the loan?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, while we lived together, we both paid it back. When I moved out, I called Bobby to ask for help to pay on the payments.
Okay, just 1 second. So while you were living together, you were both paying?
We both paid it, uh-huh.
It's not your allegation that he owes $2,600
No, it's $2248.93. That's the remainder of the loan.
And how did you arrive at that figure?
That was the remainder of the loan.
Well, it was the remainder of what loan? The $3,500 loan that you took out?
$3,500.
Well, but you only gave him $2,600 to pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the other money go to?
I'm not sure exactly what we did with it. We may have made a house payment with the other $900.
Well, I don't know either, but that's...
I don't either.
Well, if you paid back...
Together, we paid back the other $900 already.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But if some of that money was not used for his child support, he's not responsible for that other money. So far, is that correct, sir, that you paid back $900?
I think so, yes, ma'am.
Were you working?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And you were working?
Till 5 weeks before April 12th.
5 weeks before. So from September until March, you were working. Fine. Did she pay money to your for your child support?
I think there was some money paid, yes, ma'am.
Do you know how much?
Not right offhand, ma'am.
Does $2,600 sound right?
That could be.
Oh, there you go.
However, I was the only sole breadwinner of the family there for quite a period of time. The period of time that she says she was working is not correct. She did not work the entire time she said that she worked.
Well, when did she work, sir?
Well, on a weekly basis, you meant 2 to maybe 3 days a week.
But you were living together as a family.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to go into 2 or 3 days a week and you were working 5 days a week. You paid back as a family $900 towards this loan. However, there is a substantial portion of it, or at least a big piece of it, that was not used for your child support, which is what she's suing for, $2,600. According to my calculations, if you acknowledge that this loan was taken out, at least 2/3 of it was taken out for your child support. You originally owed $2,600, and I'm giving you credit for $600, which is 2/3 of the $900 that was paid for, which comes out to $2,000. Now, you want to explain to me, sir, why you don't owe $2,000?
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, from the beginning of the time that she moved in with me, we were both working on the same job for construction. She had problems with being out in the sun, out in the heat, so she very seldom was able to work on that job. Soon after, she got a job inside of an apartment complex in an office. During that period of time, I worked 6 and sometimes 7 days a week in order to make ends meet. You keep in mind, I have 2 children, she had her 2 children, and the both of us was in my house, which meant that I was the sole breadwinner, more or less, for the entire group.
Your children living with you?
For the biggest part of the time, yes, ma'am. At that point in time, they were.
How old are they?
I have a son that's 8 and a daughter that's 13.
And who was taking care of the children when you were working?
She would be there at the house during that period of time. Yes, ma'am, while she was asleep, what have you.
Whatever.
So who was watching my kids?
Whatever. You weren't there. Someone was watching them.
Somebody had to work.
And if she wasn't watching them, someone would have had to have watched them. Right?
I could have taken care of that too.
I'm sure you could have, but you didn't. Keep going. I'm still waiting for a reason why you don't owe $2,000 on this loan.
Well, I feel that if things was to be fair, then we could look at as to what money was spent as far as paying everybody's bills, my bills, her bills, and taking care of everybody else that was in the household at the same time.
Why should she be responsible for paying your back child support?
Nobody said she was responsible for it.
Well, she is responsible for it if this loan
Something
is
she
her
chose to do on her own.
What?
That would be something she chose to do on her own. I never signed the first piece of paper for that note.
No, but you agreed to pay it back.
Did you get a notice from Child Support Enforcement that you owe this money?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did the notice from Child Support Enforcement indicate that unless you came up with this money, they had several alternatives? One was your arrest, one was taking away your driver's license, and they gave you the whole menu of possibilities? Yes, that happened, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course it did. So you had to come up with the money,
yes,
right?
Ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Beyond this case number 155 on the calendar in the matter of Eckert, Procopio versus Marcus. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
You are Miss Eckert?
Yes.
Miss Eckert, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for some rent, some other bills from taking money out of your ATM account, and Mr. Procopio?
That's correct.
It's your claim that Mr. Marcus assaulted you. You want to be compensated. Tell me, how do you know him, Miss Eckert, and when you moved in together, and what was the rent arrangement?
I met him last July, and we just became friends, and he had a 5-year-old son, and I had a 6-year-old son, and he was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was living in a 3-bedroom house, and we both couldn't afford the places that we lived in, so we decided we move in together, just as roommates, and he can take care of my son while I go to work, just take him to school in the morning, and then the rent would be $300, and if he doesn't do that, then the rent would be $400.
How much was the total rent?
$850.
And how many people were living in the house?
It was just me and my son at the time.
When did he move in?
In the middle of September.
No, that's not true.
I'll get you in a minute. When was he supposed to start to pay rent? In October?
Yeah.
Did he pay October's rent?
No.
When did he move out?
Middle of May.
That's not true either.
From October until May, did he pay rent?
No.
Never?
No.
So why did you let him stay?
Because he always said he's getting a job. Every month I asked him, are you going to come up with some money? He was supposed to get food stamps too, from the welfare. And every month he came up with a new story. One time he said he's going to sell his motorcycle, and I didn't want him to do that. And then he had a job at one time.
Yeah.
For a day, and then he lost that job.
Not true.
Do you think I'm going to give you a chance, sir?
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Then I want you to try to contain yourself. So he didn't pay you any money from October until May?
No.
So let's deal with the rent first. Now, Mr. Marcus, look who's having a turn. When did you move in according to your calendar, sir?
It was the middle of October.
Okay.
Actually, almost towards the end of October, when I come back from Mexico.
So according to you, you should have started to pay rent.
1st of November.
Thank you for anticipating. Did you pay rent?
No, not at the first. No, I didn't.
Why not?
Well, because I didn't have the money at that time.
What were you doing in Mexico?
I was helping a friend move his family down there.
Explain that to me.
It was just another friend of mine who needed assistance driving his family to Mexico. He asked me to help him.
You're making me very nervous, sir. Could you speak without moving so much?
Yeah. Well, he asked me to help him move his family to Mexico. I did so. I was down there for a month.
So you weren't working at the time?
No.
And you were free?
I was taking care of my son. He was under medical conditions, so...
What kind of medical condition?
He was mauled by dogs, so he needed intensive care 24/7.
How old is he?
He is now 6. At the time, he was 5.
So you took your son who needed full-time medical care down to Mexico
No,
for a
I didn't.
month?
I left him with his grandmother.
The name of the friend who you helped move to Mexico?
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario. That's all I know.
Mr. Marcus, see anything written here, sir?
No, ma'am.
Dumb, stupid.
No, I'm not saying that.
Do you think that I think that you were going down to move somebody whose name you don't even know and you stayed with them for a month and you don't know their last name?
No, I don't. Actually, I couldn't even pronounce it if I did.
All right, Mr. Marcus. So November you didn't pay any rent. What about December?
Yes, I did give her some money. I did give her some cash.
Good. How much did you give us, sir?
I believe it was $150.
And in January?
I think it was another $100, $150.
February?
Not believe February, no.
March?
No, that's when we started getting eviction notices, so she didn't pay either. It was pretty much everybody disbanded the house and off we went.
April?
No, nobody was there in April.
When did you move out?
March.
So according to you, sir, for the entire time you were there, you gave her a total of $250.
Well...
That's what you just told me?
Well, partial, yes.
That's what you just told me?
Yes, I understand that. Partial.
That's what you just told me?
That's cash, yes. I bought all the food for the house.
Food?
Yes, food. Well, she then proceeded to move Sal in.
I'm not there yet. Miss Eckert, okay. I want you to tell me about this ATM card. I've read your papers, and I don't think that you can prove it to me, but I'll listen to you anyway because I'm always trying to be fair.
Well, I got my paycheck and I deposited, and my bank account was way overdrawn, and I was like, there's something wrong. So I got a statement from the bank, a printout, and I noticed that there was some stuff on there that was charged on my debit card that wasn't made by me, and there was a 1-800 number next to it. So I called it, and I got to find out it was a...
She gave me the credit card.
Oh. Go. It was a porn website.
That's not what it was.
Yes. That's what the guy said on the phone.
That's not what it was.
Oh, okay. What makes you think it was Mr. Marcus who used your debit card?
Because the guy on the phone asked me what my email address is, and I said I don't have an email address. He asked me if I got a computer in my house,
and
I said
she did.
I want you to be quiet until I look in your direction.
And he asked me if I know somebody by the name of Michael Marcus, and I said yes, that's my roommate. And he said that's the person who got the charge on my debit.
And what was the charge?
You want to take a look at this?
Sure. And
because of that, my bank account got totally overdrawn, so I got all those overdraft charges on there too.
Just tell me how much it was.
But all combined with the overdraft charges, about
forget
$200.
the overdraft charges, just what you allege he charged.
About $100.
Now we're ready to go to you, sir. Now I want you to tell me about this assault. When did it take place?
12th of April.
You have a police report?
No, I did not call the police. I was going to pretty much let the whole issue go until my wife and him were going to go to court.
Mr. Marcus, do you think you're helping yourself, sir?
No, ma'am. I just want the truth.
Well, then wait your turn, and I'll hear. How are you related to him?
Can I speak?
No! I asked you a question. I said, how are you related to him?
I'm a witness.
How are you related to him?
We have a child together.
My condolences.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your actions today, being a wise guy and a smart mouth.
But I'm not.
But you are.
But you haven't even heard my side of this whole assault thing.
But you're not paying attention to me. You're as dumb and as thick as this wood.
And later today,
he calls me and said he's in jail. The bail out of jail.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I said,
Mr. Reyes, could you wait until I look at you and ask you questions, please? Oh, look at me. Could you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Heidi Eckert and her estranged husband, Salvatore Procopio, are suing former housemate Michael Marcus for unpaid rent. Salvatore claims soon after filing the case, Michael beat him up.
Now, 12th of April.
Correct. After the eviction notice came, we were supposed to be out the 1st of the month. Heidi,
1st of what?
April, I believe.
1st of April.
Yeah.
Why were you being evicted?
Due to unpaid rent.
When was the last time you paid rent?
I never paid any rent.
Yeah. When was the last time you paid rent?
In February.
In February?
As far as the credit card is concerned...
Let's talking about the credit card.
Oh, well, it was handed to me. She knew all about it.
I'm not talking about the credit card now.
Well, we need to address it.
If I need to address it, I'll address it. Now, get back to the date of the assault.
Mr. Marcus came into the kitchen first thing in the morning and was upset about the whole lawsuit. Heidi had already, processed a claim to sue him in small claims. He was adamant that I was the one that put her up to it. And
when did you move into the house, sir?
Middle of November.
November.
I mean, probably within the first 30 days of Mr. Marcus moving in.
So you moved in after Mr. Marcus moved in?
I lived there prior. I moved out.
You moved in after Mr. Marcus moved in?
Yes.
After her arrangement with Mr. Marcus?
Correct.
Did you pay rent?
No.
Why not?
I was unemployed at the time.
That's not his problem.
Yeah, I stayed in the room with my estranged wife. I slept on a couch sometimes.
At any time, did either you or Miss Eckert receive public assistance?
No.
Not me.
What about you?
No.
So how are you supporting yourself, Mr. Procopio?
Me and everybody else was supporting him.
With the help of friends.
Was I looking at you?
Well,
was I looking at you?
That's who was supporting him. Everybody else in the house.
Right now he's preparing to tell me about the fact that you punched him while sitting in the kitchen.
No,
a fact that you acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense to that, sir, is that you were afraid that he was going to assault you with a knife he was holding.
Yes.
Your actions today in dealing with me suggest that you're so dumb that you don't recognize that if you maintain a different kind of demeanor, I might believe the fact that you were in fear of your life and therefore responded by assaulting him, by punching him.
Well, if you hear my story, I'll tell you.
However, your actions today, being a wise guy and a smart mouth.
But I'm not.
But you are.
But you haven't even heard my side of this whole assault thing.
But you're not paying attention to me.
I am
You're
paying
as
attention.
dumb and as thick as this wood. Because if you listen to me, you would understand that if you were quiet and respectful of where you are, and understand where you are, you see how we're addressing each other and you see how quiet they are? Because at this point, I'm looking in your direction. You have no self-control. You can't control yourself.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Heidi Eckert and her estranged husband, Salvatore Procopio, are suing former housemate Michael Marcus for unpaid rent. Salvatore claims soon after filing the case, Michael beat him up.
Tell me about the assault, sir. You were in the kitchen. He came in. He was angry because you filed the small claims case. And he did what to you?
He smacked me upside my face.
How did he do that? With an open hand or a closed hand?
It was closed hand and an open hand. There was two of them in which I got out of the house.
Okay.
And I left.
And
I wasn't,
my mouth is moving.
Excuse me.
When he hit you, did you have any injury?
I had a cut on the inside of my mouth.
Okay, so you had no serious injury?
No, none at all.
And you did not respond in kind by hitting him back
No.
because... Okay. Did you, in fact, have a knife in your hand?
I was doing the dishes. At the time, we weren't sitting in the kitchen. I was standing at
You
the
were
sink.
standing. And Mr. Marcus, at no time did he hit you, is that right?
No, he did not.
Stop! And you walked into the kitchen, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
The fact that Mr. Procopio was not seriously injured, or was not really injured at all, does not mean that you get a free whack. So that slap upside his head and little cut on the inside is going to cost you $500, Mr. Marcus. So far, I am eliminating these charges from here because everything that you told me, Miss Eckert, with regard to the person that you called, at your ATM card, is hearsay. However, I am persuaded that Mr. Marcus owes you for rent. So, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's fine. I mean, we always got along. I'm kind of bummed that it came to this.
He owes me money. And if this time I'm not going to let it go.
He doesn't deserve a dime.
I wish everybody well. I wish it didn't all have to come to this.
I have no hard feelings against Heidi. As far as he's concerned, he's a chump.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Caban versus Reyes. Step forward, please.
Hairstylist William Caban is suing his former friend, 25-year-old waiter Jeffrey Reyes, for an unpaid loan to bail him out of jail.
According to your complaint, the defendant owes you for bailing him out of jail.
Yes.
Tell me exactly how that happened, sir.
We went out on Thursday night to karaoke. And
What was the date?
May 16th. And one of my friends met me at the bar. And he wanted to leave. I asked Jeffrey, do you want to go? He says, no, I want to stay.
Your Honor, he left
Just 1 second. I'll get to you. Go ahead. Get to you. Go ahead.
And I said, do you want to come? He said, no, I'm going to stay here. I want to sing. So I said, okay, I'll do you a favor. I gave him my ATM card. I gave him $20 plus my car keys. And I said, I'll talk to you later.
ATM card for what?
To drink. He didn't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day he calls me and said, he's in jail, to bail him out of jail.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I said,
Mr. Reyes,
Mr.
Reyes, could you wait until I look at you and ask you questions, please? Now look at me. Could you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did he say to you?
He said, Will, can you please come and get me out of jail? Do you have the money to get me out of jail? And I did not have the money to get him out of jail. I had to go running around town, borrow money to get him out, because he kept on calling me every 15 minutes that my cell phone died and his cell phone died. There's 3 cell phones in the car, and they all died because he was calling us so much.
What do you mean 3 cell phones in the car?
We had 3 cell phones in the car. There's 3 people trying to get him out of jail. The only one that got him out of jail was me.
Well, who else was in the car?
It's another friend of his roommates. I don't know his name.
So you're driving around with 2 other friends in the car?
No one had money to get him out.
Just answer my question, sir. You're driving around with 2 other friends.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this my way.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because my way, I'm going to get the truth.
Okay.
Where were you going?
We getting money to bail him out of jail.
And when you bailed him out, what did he say to you?
He said to me, thanks. And I said, you need to pay me back.
And what did he say?
He said, yes, he'll pay me back. And I stressed it to him. I need this money back.
All right, Mr. Reyes, now I'm going to hear your version of the events, sir. What were you arrested for?
Driving with a suspended license.
So I gather you took the car keys and went home.
I stayed in the bar till 2 o'clock in the morning till they had last call. They did not come back. He had left his keys on there. He did not tell me he was going. They both just left. So how am I supposed to get home? I took the keys and I drove home. Then I went home. There was a cop already there. They had my name on a piece of paper like someone had called the cops on me already. So I went there. He asked to see my driver's license. I showed him my driver's license, and he took me to jail.
Then you called him.
Yes, I called him.
And what did you say when you
I
called
said, well, what happened yesterday? He goes, oh, I left you the car. He said, I didn't come back yesterday. He said, why, where are you? I said, I'm in jail. He goes, oh, don't worry, I'll get you out. He said, don't worry about it. Trust me, I'll get you out. I don't have the money to pay him back. I didn't ask him to bail me out. If he bailed me out, it's because he felt sorry for leaving me with the car. He knew I couldn't drive with a suspended license. I didn't want to drive.
Why was your license suspended?
Not paying a ticket. And I got pulled over before, and he gave me a ticket for driving with a suspended license. And he said, next time you will go to jail. So I didn't want to drive.
Where do you live?
I live in Orlando.
And is that where the karaoke bar was?
Yes.
Now, Orlando, Florida is a major metropolis. I've been to Orlando, Florida. Do you know what they have in Orlando, Florida?
Disney World? I don't know.
Do you know what else they have in Orlando? Taxi cabs.
Your Honor, I had no money.
Your Honor, I left him with money. I left him set.
Just a second.
All right.
Yeah, by the time the bar was closed, I was broke.
Mr. Reyes, that's what you call lack of planning, sir. Because if you were waiting for him and he didn't come back and he left after 20 minutes, something should have gone on in your head that said to you, maybe I am stranded here, so I better take the $20 that he gave me and put put a couple of dollars away so that you could call a taxi cab to take you home, since you didn't have a driver's license.
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor, but he left me an ATM card. Taxi cabs do not take ATM cards.
And $20.
He had an open tab on the bar. When it was closed with $20 I had spent drinking.
What happened as a result of that case, Mr. Reyes?
They gave me day served.
And a fine?
Yes.
How much was the fine?
The fine was $500.
Did you pay the $500?
Yeah,
They
took it out of his
taken
bail.
out of my bond.
They took it out of his bail?
Yeah.
Oh. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $560. Mr. Reyes, you have to take responsibility for what you do, sir. You had a lot of choices. You picked all the wrong ones. That's all.
Okay.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 59 on the calendar in the matter of O'Neill versus Valley. You're quite welcome. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Miss O'Neill, you and the defendant were engaged to be married, and according to your complaint, the defendant used your credit cards. You had not given him permission to use the credit cards, and he racked up bills in excess of $5,000.
Correct.
The defendant says that he had the right to use your credit cards. You had given him permission.
Correct.
You have a counterclaim, sir, that it's a whole potpourri of stuff. You claim that you put a lot of money in a truck that she kept and some other stuff, which you will explain to me later. Miss O'Neill, when were you and the defendant living together?
He moved in late September.
And tell me about the credit cards.
The credit cards are in my name and my name only. The credit cards had a zero balance, and I took the defendant once to go shopping for his children for Christmas presents. I was aware of that and I'm not disputing those charges. And we also had put a down payment on my ring on that same credit card. He said it was his responsibility, and so when the statement came, he would make the payment directly to the credit card company. He'd give the envelope to me sealed, and I would mail it from my place of business, and so on and so forth.
He took the bill sealed?
He took the bill, he sealed and I'm assuming opened it to pay it, but I never.
But you never opened the bill?
I didn't see the bill because, again, it was his responsibility because it was presents for his children and, again, for the deposit on the ring. I didn't see the statement because I had nothing on there at that time. And, Your Honor, I really do feel like this matter was something that was brought forth premeditated. I think that he...
Okay, so let's get to the story and then we'll discuss whether it was premeditated or not.
Okay. I had the credit cards put safely in my bedroom because I was not going to be...
Well, so far you had one credit card that he used. What about the... You said
right.
Now you had
There's
another
a second
credit card
that had gotten mailed to me that I did not use anything for. We took one trip to Tahoe that we did use. And again, I'm not disputing those charges. We charged about $150 that weekend. So what had happened was I placed the Visa in the headboard of the bed, and then when the MasterCard came, I also put it with that as well.
When did you discover that there were excessive balances on the credit card?
On March 27th, I received a notice that there was a certified letter at the post office waiting for Jason that was for a storage unit that I had had my bed in that had all of his other belongings in it. So I was a little suspicious because obviously it wasn't a Christmas card, it was probably an eviction, and that means that he was back a couple months. So I confronted him that evening and I asked him, how are we doing on the bills in general, my ring, the storage, little things like that. He said, oh, honey, we're caught up, we're fine, and he also got offended that I would even ask him something like that. So he was at that point lying to my face. So that morning when he left for work on the 28th, I went through a side of his bed that there were drawers that he kept a number of receipts and tax return information. When I found the credit card statement, I noticed that I also found forged receipts that have my name forged in his handwriting, and also a lot of the receipts in his possession matched my credit card statements with an outrageous balance. So
what was the balance?
The balance on the credit card was almost $6,000. That was the Visa, and the MasterCard was about $1,500.
You have those statements?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please.
Did you want to see the forgeries too?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the receipts, and then these are some information along with my copies of my time card as to...
No, just give me the receipts, please, and the balance that you found on each of the cards. Am I correct that there were some cash withdrawals as well?
Correct. And I've never made a cash withdrawal, and I don't know how he got the PIN, but my name's Aaron, and he had commented once before that he had called for insurance purposes on the truck, that he used my name, Aaron, and he thought it was kind of humorous that he could get information using my name. And so I'm assuming he might have used that method to obtain a PIN number, because I don't know my PIN. I've never used cash advance.
Did you ever get a PIN number yourself?
I never received one myself. I don't know if one was ever mailed or, because I don't use that. And Your Honor, on a lot of the forgeries too, he's misspelled my name, so.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Your Honor, I have some proof here, some letters here showing that she did give me permission to use the credit cards.
Mr. Valley, let's start from the beginning, sir. I want you to start with where you got the credit cards from, when you took them out and used them and signed her name.
Your Honor, I used the credit that she gave me the credit cards to hold in my wallet. There was nothing in, no coverage or nothing like that. She gave them to me when we go out at night and stuff like that. She didn't want to carry a purse, so she gave me her driver's license and her credit cards. Sometimes she'd have a little too much to drink or something like that. We're checking out, okay, and it's like, you know, we're signing away, and she'll say, just sign the credit card. I didn't think this was a problem. I had no idea. I always have the credit cards in my possession because when I first met her, she used to keep her credit cards in the freezer in a bowl of water, okay, because she had using the credit cards too much. She racked up bills and stuff like that.
Yes.
When I first moved in, you know, she says, okay, you know, pay a minimum rent, you know, here's my credit cards, you pay off your credit cards, okay, and she says, well, you know, I have a better interest rate that let's use my credit cards when we need them, as long as you pay me back. And I was making the payments, I
Just
was
a
paying them
minute.
back.
There we go. As long as you pay me back.
Yes.
Okay, you see, you keep talking. Sometimes if I let you keep talking, and you stick both feet in your mouth. So, you acknowledge, sir, let me take your best case scenario, that you used her credit cards, but the agreement was you would pay for those credit card bills.
Correct.
So why didn't you pay them?
I was paying them. I have proof here that I was paying them every month.
How much were you
Okay,
paying?
I was paying $140 a month.
So therefore, Mr. Valley, you acknowledge that you owe her $5,000.
No.
Well, explain that to me, sir.
Because
either you took the credit cards, pay attention to what you just said, either you took the credit cards, as she says, without her permission, or you had her permission, but your agreement was that you would be paying a minimal rent and you would take care of all the charges on the credit cards. That's what you just told me a moment ago. So explain to me why you don't owe her $5,000.
I was to take full responsibility of what I put on the credit cards, Your Honor.
That's not what you told me, sir.
Well, that's
I mean,
what
how
I
does that work out? You order 2 egg roll, you pay for yours and you don't pay for hers?
No, Your Honor.
You you put gas in the car, you split that down the middle. How does that work?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Chevy pickup, when we purchased it, it was bone stock.
No, I purchased the truck. He has credit worse than a 2-year-old.
And later today,
I apologized and I told her I was late on the payment and that I would get to it. She...
Talk. Did you make March's payment?
No.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aaron O'Neill says ex-fiancé Jason Valley forged her signature to make unauthorized credit card charges. Jason says he had permission.
Go ahead.
If you look on the credit card statements, it shows her charges, then my charges. Her charges, then my charges.
I'm talking about your charges, which are in excess of $5,000, sir. Not her charges, the charges that you made, whether it be for gas or restaurants or anything else. Now, are you telling me now that your agreement was that you would split those charges 50-50?
We never had that agreement, no.
So your agreement was that you were supposed to pay the credit cards?
For my charges, yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. So we just took care of that. Give a guy long enough and he always just gets right in there. All right, Mr. Valley, now let's get to your counterclaim, sir. Let's start with this truck that you say she owes you money for.
Back in October, we purchased a 98 Chevy extended cab four-wheel drive together. Okay, my financing wasn't going to be the greatest. She said, let's put it in my name, we'll get a cheaper finance rate. The Chevy pickup, when we purchased it, it was bone stock. It was no add-ons, no nothing. I purchased lift kit, all kinds of accessories, and when we broke up, she came to my shop saying, I want the truck. I said, that's not a problem. I will take my stuff off, I will put your tires back on, do whatever has to be done. No, I want it now. I said, well, I'd like to have my property. And she says, no, take me to court.
Yes.
Okay. We purchased the truck? No. I purchased the truck. He has credit worse than a 2-year-old. I purchased the vehicle myself.
Who's making the payments on the truck?
He was making the payments on the truck, which I also show that he was also delinquent on the payments for the truck. So I had to pay $500 just to get current when all of this happened.
Who's making payments on the truck now?
He was. Oh, I am.
Now?
Oh, I am.
Okay, is the truck in your name?
Yes, always has been.
Did you ever make an arrangement with him that he would be reimbursed for any additions or any modifications that he put on the truck?
No.
All right, now let's leave the truck for a minute. Did you enter some sort of a contest with him?
Yes.
All right, and that's the last part of your counterclaim, sir, that she owes you for half the prizes that were awarded to you as a couple from this dream wedding contest, which turned out to be not a dream wedding.
Nightmare.
So, tell me about that.
We won gift certificates to different places like jewelry stores, and it was like $3,000 in gift certificates.
Okay, you want to respond?
Yes, Your Honor. The total for the gift certificates retail face value was $3,305. None of the gift certificates have been used. I have sold about half of them in retail value, and I have had $1,200 from those gift certificates, and I'm also showing that...
Show it to him, as a matter of fact, first, before you give it to me.
And I also have the original entry showing that it's all in my handwriting and my effort that was placed forth, and again, my effort to sell.
But you won as a couple?
Correct.
All right, and you sold some of them, is that right?
Right, and the ones I have remaining that I did not sell actually equal $50 greater value than the profit that I made on the ones I sold, and I'm more than welcome to hand them over to him now.
Okay. Mr. Valley, you want the other half of the gift certificates?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Give them to him. Perfect.
There's the photographer, $955, a caterer for $250, and then 2 vacations. One has a retail value of $475, and the other's unmarked, but I'm assuming is
whatever. That's what he wants. He wants to sell it or he wants to use it. All right. Now, I think that we have resolved this matter. Mr. Valley, you owe $5,000 for the charges that you put on her credit cards that, according to you, you were supposed to pay for. According to her, you stole. I take your word for the fact that you had a permission, but you agreed to pay for them. So you owe $5,000. The vacation packages and the photographer, you have half the value of the gift certificates. As far as the truck is concerned, I find that there was never an agreement that you would be reimbursed for anything that you put in the truck. The truck is in her name. She is currently paying for the truck, so for the truck you get nothing. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $5,000. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He really thought he was sneaky and that he would get away with stealing forever.
It's her word against mine.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ritchie versus Morales. Step forward, please.
Salesperson Tammy Ritchie is suing her sister, nurse's assistant Tristine Morales, for the unpaid balance on a car loan. Tristine says Tammy repoed the vehicle, so she's not paying.
Miss Ritchie, the defendant is your sister.
Yes.
According to what I read, your sister needed a car. She didn't have good enough credit, so you co-signed a car loan for her.
Yes.
When was that?
January of 2001.
What kind of car was purchased?
The 2001 Toyota Echo.
And what was the amount of the car loan?
Just over $13,000.
And I assume your arrangement with your sister was that she would make the car payments.
Yes.
And maintain the insurance on the car. According to your complaint, she didn't do that. You repossessed the car. You took the car back from her. And now you feel as if she should pay you at least $5,000, which is the maximum allowed in this court, because you're stuck with the car and the payments. Is that what this case is about?
Yes.
Okay. And your sister says she doesn't have the car, so she doesn't see why she should make the payments. What were the monthly payments on the car?
$296.
When did you repossess the car?
April of 2001. She had not made any payments on it, so I had talked to her first.
When was the first payment due?
I believe in February.
Did you make February's car payment of $296?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I was behind in bills, and
you have no reason.
The first payment that I was supposed to make, I was behind, and it was late, and I had told my sister I apologized that it was late, and that I would take care of it as soon as possible on my next paycheck.
Did you finally pay that car payment?
No.
What about March? And I'll ask you for proof of all of these things. So in March, you didn't make
No,
car
I didn't have the car in March at all.
You had the car in April.
She had taken the car away from me.
No, she took the car back in April.
No, she took the car away twice. The first time was in March.
Then she gave it back to you?
She gave it back to me after I had went, and I apologized, and I told her I was late on the payment and that I would get to it, and she...
Talk. Did you make March's payment?
No.
And then you took the car back in April.
Yes, not
Okay, now, you don't have to say anything else. Your sister's a deadbeat. I mean, what do you want?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tammy Ritchie says her sister, Christine Morellas, owes for a car loan. Christine says Tammy repoed the car prematurely.
What kind of track record did your sister have with you that would have said to you this was a smart thing to do?
Well, it's my sister, and I wanted to help her. She had the 2 kids. She has a job. She said she couldn't get to work, and she was having problems.
So she needed a brand new car?
I wanted to get her a reliable car, something that she'd have the kids in, something that she can go to work in.
How is she getting to work now?
She bought a car.
Really? When did you buy a car?
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Really? What did you use for money?
My income tax return.
What kind of car did you buy?
It's an 89 Honda Prelude.
That's what you should have bought before, not a brand new car.
But the agreement was that she was going to take care of this car and buy a car.
Let me see the papers on it, please. Well, what do you expect your sister to do with your debt, madam? What do you expect her to do with your debt?
You know, paying the car and making my payments wasn't a problem.
You didn't make the payment.
The first payment was late, and I made the agreement that I would pay her, and that wasn't a problem. When we made the agreement the second time around, I was making my payments.
You didn't make February and March's payment.
I made 2 payments.
What do you expect her to do with this car now?
It wasn't a problem for me having the car. It wasn't. She took the car away from me the
No,
second
it was a
time.
problem, madam. If you didn't make 2 months worth of car payments...
I was making my payments on the second time around. I was. She took the car away from me again.
You know, I mean, are you stupid or what? If you don't make a February car payment and you don't make March...
I made 2 payments in April.
Show me.
She has all the receipts.
Show me. How much
She
did she give
has
you in
all the
April?
receipts.
And what happened was, for the first 2 months, payments were not made.
Of course.
Okay,
She
so she didn't
acknowledges
have
that.
an insurance, and I put her on my insurance until she got her own. After I put her on my insurance, the insurance company told me she had like 6 points on her driver's license, which skyrocketed my insurance. I took her off my insurance and said, until you get your insurance back, until you get your own insurance, I'm not going to do this. I can't do it anymore. And that's when she just gave up and didn't want to pay anymore. I tried everything in there.
What do you intend to do with this car?
Well, if things go well today, I intend to take both the cars into to a dealership, turn them both in, and apply this as a deposit. If everything goes well today, I want to apply it toward a deposit.
Everything goes well, Miss Ritchie, is a problem. Because what you're asking me to do is to say you probably will get this amount of money for your car. And I can't do that. I don't know whether it's going to be $3,000 or $4,000. I have no idea, and neither do you.
I'm sorry, I do. I've looked into doing it. This is not something I've not done lightly. It's taken me a while to do this. The car payment right now, Blue Book's at $6,000, $7,000. The car's still owing about $11,000 on it.
Okay, let me go back and check the Blue Book. The old trusty Blue Book, $7,700 in fair condition. Good condition is $8,825. So let's say it's $8,000. Did your sister give you any money whatsoever towards the car?
$300 total.
Okay.
Your Honor, on the Blue Book value, that's maybe Blue Book, but you can't trade it in for that value.
Listen, I can do the following. I can make an award for you today of $440. If she gave you $300, she owed you $740. And then what you can do is you can go and sell the car, and then you can refile your lawsuit. What is your pleasure? I can't speculate.
I will sell the car.
Fine. Then today, without any prejudice, I'm awarding you $440. You can refile your lawsuit at such time as you sell the car.
Okay.
Perfect.
Parties are excused. You may step out. That's case number 84 on the calendar in the matter of Dennis versus Pierce. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
All right, I have a claim and I have a countersuit. The claim is that, Miss Dennis, you bought a home from the defendant.
Yes, ma'am.
On substantial acreage, 5 acres?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And it is your claim that there was a damaged bathtub.
A latent defect, yes.
Don't give me latent defect. There was a damaged bathtub.
Yes, ma'am.
And it cost you a substantial amount of money to fix that bathtub.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, you claim that the defendant has embarked upon a course of harassment by calling Child Protective Services on your family, for which you also want to be compensated.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says he never made any calls to Child Protective Services. Is that right, sir?
This is true, Your Honor.
That the home that you purchased was purchased as one usually purchases a home. You had a home inspection, an inspector of your own choosing, and whatever defect was found should have been found by the inspector. He says, however, that you actually owe him money. You had left certain property with the consent of the plaintiff on the acreage in a shed, and it was the arrangement that you would take that property after the closing.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that the defendant, in retaliation for the fact that you weren't going to pay her for this bathtub, locked the shed, couldn't get to your property. Subsequently, the shed was removed. She put your property at another location, and a lot of it was either damaged or destroyed.
That's true.
Okay. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's your claim.
Yes.
So, Ms. Dennis, when did you purchase the house from Mr. Pierce?
On January 22nd.
And when did you have the home inspection?
I have a copy of it here.
I'd like to see it.
It was done before we bought the home.
Of course. Stupid to have it afterwards.
This is the advertisement of the home.
No. I just want to see your inspection.
Your Honor, it claims 2 full baths, and being how one of the tubs was damaged, it was only considered 1.5 baths.
Is that what you're trying to tell me? That because the home was advertised 2 full baths and there was a crack in one of the bathtubs, he misrepresented the home to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you get a life. Bird, would you buy a house where the report of findings said, visible evidence of wood-destroying organisms observed, wood rot and subterranean termites, wood rot, subfloor, under bathrooms, says damaged, tub, shower, and walls, damaged, deterioration, noted at tub, plastic tub, cracked right front corner. All right, let me hear your claim with regard to this bathtub, madam.
The bathtub was cracked all the way in the middle of the tub. It was hidden with a decorative non-slip strip. Basically, my father-in-law, who is also my realtor, considered it, saw it. It was a latent defect.
Wasn't a latent defect. You had an inspector.
The inspector could not find it because it was covered up.
The inspector shouldn't be an idiot. The inspector noted wood rot under the bathtub.
Because of the water damage.
Right. Hello? If there's wood rot under the bathtub, something must be leaking. My goodness, where is that leaking from? Let me take a look in the bathtub.
They thought it was from termites, ma'am.
Listen, that's not his fault. That's your inspector's fault. Sue your inspector, not him. I mean, I don't know anything about the mechanisms of a house. I know how to go in, turn on a light, turn on a faucet. That's what I know. Open a refrigerator, and occasionally, if rarely, turn on an oven. But I do know this, that when you buy a house, you have a complete inspection, and it's simplistic that if there's wood rot that he notes twice under a bathtub, then you go and you peel off whatever is there, the strips that you put in so that you don't slip and fall, you peel it off, and you say, that's where it's leaking from.
It was covered up, ma'am. And the home inspector was not allowed to peel off the tape.
Who said that?
Because it was his home. It was his home. And the home
Miss Dennis, you didn't look carefully enough, and stop blaming other people. Now, let's get to the next part of your complaint. The next part of your complaint has to do with harassment.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did this harassment start before or after you locked the shed where Mr. Pierce's property was located?
We have an amendment signed by the contract at the closing that says that Mr. Pierce was not allowed to move his contents until the shed company came. The shed was not removed until a month later. The shed company also said that it was repossessed when it was picked up, which meant even though they would have kept his belongings. I was harassed.
Can you answer my question? The word is either before or after.
Before, during, and after.
So tell me when you locked the shed.
The 24th after I confronted him.
24th of what?
January, 2 days later after the closing.
Okay, 24th of January.
When I confronted him about the cracked tub.
And he said what to you?
That tub's fine, my kids use it all the time.
Okay.
And I said, well, how come you didn't disclose it to the home inspector, the realtor, or anybody else about the cracked tub? You know, maybe we could have negotiated a different price. Maybe I could, you know, just make me aware of it. He did not make me aware of it. My daughter could not bathe for
Listen,
days.
what he said to you was, my kids use that tub all the time, which is probably true because there was so much water underneath that the wood rotted, and the tub was fine. But on the 24th, you confronted him, 2 days after you closed. When did you lock the shed?
The 23rd.
You locked the shed the 23rd after you discovered the crack.
Before.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
When I went to go pick up my possessions, which was on the 24th of January, the shed wasn't still locked. They advised me that there was a problem and that I had to deal with my realtor and her realtor at the time, which is her father-in-law. Well, in that event, I said to her, well, I came to get my Jeep and my stuff. She said, no, you're not getting it. She was even going to hold my Jeep hostage.
No,
so I told her that I will not do this. If you want, we could resolve this with the deputies. She did give me my Jeep. I thought I would let this blow over. I had already scheduled to go up north on vacation. I already had a scheduled pickup for Cook. Cook just doesn't come.
You had a scheduled
pickup for the shed and the contents to be picked up.
What do you mean, this is a rented shed?
It's a rented shed, yes it is. I had to make 3 different plans, 3 different arrangements to have the shed picked up. Finally, Cook Shed agreed to have this shed repoed, because then that would be a base of action for them to go on and retrieve that property. There was no other way of getting it. They withheld me from getting that shed. I was willing to get it that week of closing.
You mean the week of the 24th?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Yes.
if I may, we signed a leased contract stating that Cook's Shed would pick up shed and contents, not Mr. Pierce would come and pick up contents.
You were getting even. You were using the contents of the shed as leverage for the cracked bathtub.
Ma'am.
Miss Dennis, I want you to listen. You know, that's a rather simplistic thing. He's got property on your property.
Right.
You come in, and 2 days later or the next day find out that there's a cracked bathtub, and you're angry. So you say, I'm not giving him his property back until we resolve the issue of this bathtub. You have to be honest with me, madam.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
HRS came to my house, and my fiance committed suicide over this. And I have a baby that's 8 months old now that will never see his father.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Roseanne Dennis says Terry Pierce misrepresented the sale of his home by camouflaging a cracked bathtub. Terry says Roseanne is holding his belongings hostage.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I was told to do that by my attorney.
Just a minute. I don't care whether you were told to do it, but that was, listen to me, Miss Dennis, that's the drill. Don't give him his property.
Until I was able to serve him.
Until you get satisfaction with regard to the bathtub. Now, what happened to his property?
Ma'am, the thing of it is that I was told that basically he would not give his address to my realtor or his realtor or anybody else so we could find him so I could serve him court papers. I had to hire a private investigator to try and find out his address because he wouldn't disclose it to anybody. I wanted to do this the civil way. I didn't want him on my property. I was scared of Mr. Pierce. I had to buy a gun. My fiance, HRS came to my house, and my fiance committed suicide over this. And I have a baby that's 8 months old now that will never see his father.
Your fiance did not commit suicide over this, Miss Dennis.
We were harassed by HRS.
Miss Dennis.
We were harassed by HRS on the same day that the sheriff came to look for his property, and he was not there. HRS came.
Miss Dennis.
That was a coincidence.
Miss Dennis. If you've deluded yourself into believing that your fiance committed suicide over this cracked tub and everything that came from it, you are doing nothing more than deluding yourself.
It caused a lot of problems between us.
It may have caused a lot of problems between you, problems that I'm certain existed before. Certainly the same bathtub happened to you. You did not commit suicide as a result of this cracked bathtub, and neither did your fiance. And neither did your fiance.
My fiance did. He was scared that he was going to lose our baby. He didn't know anything about protective services. This was his first child.
Listen to me carefully. Nobody took your child from you, correct?
No.
Nobody took the child out of the house, Miss Dennis.
My fiance did not understand that, Your Honor. He thought protective services would continuously bug us. I got an HRS report here that says that the allegations were false. The call was made on the same day that the police came to look from his stuff.
HRS said Terry Pierce.
And basically,
Mr. Pierce. Sorry, ma'am.
Don't interrupt.
Ma'am, if I could just submit that it was the same day that the sheriff came to look for his belongings and they were not on the property, that's the same day HRS was called.
That's not proof that he called, madam.
Your Honor, if
I don't
may.
know who else was.
I
We
don't know
just
who else
moved
called
there.
either, but what I'm telling
I
you
just
is you
moved
bought a
there.
house.
I didn't know anybody else in that county.
This is a stressful time for you. You have a new baby. Baby's father is no longer there to assist you. You made a mistake when you purchased this house by not reading this inspection very carefully. Any person purchasing a house, bells would have gone off and said, listen, if there's rot, there has to be a reason. I want you to go back there. I'm not satisfied with the report. I want you to go back there and look at it. See what's causing that water to get into the wood underneath the bathtub. You didn't do that. The house is closed. Miss Dennis, speak not. But you had no right. You have no right to withhold his property. I mean, if a lawyer gave you that advice, don't give him his property until you get the bathtub resolved.
No,
That's the
only
wrong
until I
thing
could
to do.
serve him.
What kind of damage are you claiming, Mr. Pierce?
Well, Your Honor, the contents that I had in the shed, which they allegedly said they never had, was damaged. It was destroyed. Well, I had a computer. I have a list. The stuff was damaged and destroyed, and a loss of wages from the tools that they withheld. They stole all my documentation from my income tax returns for the last 7 years, my investment portfolio papers. They took photographs of my wife, my children, and which we never had gotten.
You never got them back?
I never got them back, ma'am. No, I didn't.
What did the plaintiff do with your property?
They lied about their identities to the sheriffs. Okay, that's why the sheriffs had to keep coming back to the house. They were getting no cooperation. They lied
Just a
about who
second.
they were.
I asked you a question. I said, what did they do? The shed came and got taken away. When the shed came and was repossessed, was your stuff in the shed?
No, it wasn't, because I was there that day. They came and picked up the stuff.
What happened to the
It wound up
property?
in a used storage facility down by her ex-father-in-law down in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
And
So
I
they
also,
moved the property out of the shed
yes,
into another facility.
yes, and they claim they never had it.
From what place did you take his property and where did you put it?
I removed the property out of the shed and I put it in use storage. The woman who works there, Joyce, watched as his property was being removed, and basically she noticed that nothing had been damaged.
Don't tell me what she noticed, Miss Dennis. You made a big mistake. You have absolutely no legal justification or right to move his property from where it was to you store it. And if anything happened to that property from the time he put it in there until the time he finally retrieved whatever he retrieved from you stored, you are responsible. There is no legal right that you had to move it. Let me see what you claim, Mr. Pierce, was destroyed and or lost.
Here's a list from the sheriff's department, and here's some paycheck stubs as of last week.
I'm not interested in paycheck stubs,
Well,
sir.
that's part of the loss.
I'm not entertaining the part of the lawsuit that indicates that
Okay.
they withheld tools and therefore you couldn't work. That's iffy at best. What are you showing me this? I asked you what you could
There's a
prove.
list, an itemized list from the sheriff's department. My work tools.
You never got them back?
No, I never got them back. Which ones I did get back were broken. And the gentleman who owns you store it, I made him, see, I couldn't open up the combination lock because I was really upset that day. And I made the owner of the storage facility come to the place, and he opened it up in my presence, and he saw that the stuff was just thrown in there.
There's no question in my mind it was just thrown in there.
Ma'am,
I want to see, sir, a bill for repairing the computer.
I never repaired it. I just went and bought a new one. I paid $1,199 for that unit that has been broken, but I went to Gateway and I bought a new one for $799.
What else?
My radio arm saws, my chop boxes, tools that I use. I install windows for a living.
Okay. Do you have any bills, Mr. Pierce, any receipts for the replacement of those tools?
No,
Is it-
but the deputy who wrote up the report, he had made a list of what the stuff was worth.
I'm not interested in what the deputy thought the stuff was worth, Mr. Pierce. You say you need these tools for your living. So I assume if you went to the shed and the tools were either lost or destroyed, you had to replace them.
Well, I did.
So I'm asking you is for the receipts so that I can see how much it cost to replace the tools that you said were missing.
I didn't think to bring them because of the fact that they were written on paper. I showed the deputy report.
Just a second. Give this back to me. This is nonsense.
Your Honor, nothing was damaged or broken.
Just a second. Mr. Pierce, I'm not a stupid lady.
I know you're not. But
Fine. Then when you come to court, you don't tell me what a deputy thought your tools were worth.
I had to prove
what
to
you
them.
do what you do is you bring receipts to court
Right.
so that you show me I bought this saw and this is what it cost.
You're right.
All right, so you don't have that. What else?
That's about it, except for the
Your Honor, may I say
loss of
something,
wages.
Who are you?
please? Ma'am, I'm Marguerite Dennis, Roseanne's mother.
Sure. What do you have
Co-owner
to
of the-
contribute to this?
May I address the court?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, in a separate transaction from purchasing the home, we bought some furniture, and inadvertently, not realizing what all we had bought from his wife, he packed one of the pieces of furniture that we had bought. So he agreed to bring it back to us the next day.
What was that piece of furniture?
It was a wicker love bench.
Okay.
And at that time, he was welcomed onto the property to get his vehicle. And at that point in time, he had every opportunity to go to the shed, get his work tools, or get whatever else he wanted to. Common sense would just tell me that if you're given the opportunity to go into your shed, you inadvertently or purposely left tools that you need in order to do your job, earn your bread and butter, you're going to go and get them. You're going to retrieve them.
Or take them when you
That's
move.
not true, Your Honor.
All I'm telling you is, Miss Dennis, I'm not giving him any money for the tools because he cannot establish to my satisfaction what those tools were.
I understand that, Your
and
Honor.
how much it cost to replace them. I'm also telling you and your daughter that it was the wrong thing to do to move any of his property off the property
I
into you
understand that,
store
Your
it.
Honor.
And I don't care who gave her that advice. It was very bad advice. Miss Dennis.
इसमें लगा देंगे शेड्यूल पे चलो घूम के आते हैं जाएगा क्या Zorlaştı.